When Algeria played Nigeria, Algeria did not even hit a shot on target.
Yeah.
Not a single shot on target. And in the entire 90 minutes they played Nigeria, they managed only 3 shots. It was a game Algeria decided not to play. Nigeria finished that game with an XG of 3.36.
And they scored
2. Algeria finished with an XG of 0.13.
No. Algeria
did not offer anything in terms of attack. So, erratic in Wabali and the fragile back four of Nigeria never really got tested in that Algeria game. Morocco would be a different kettle of fish. Look at this Moroccan team. You can bet on Diaz to score again today. He scored in every game they've played.
Yeah.
You can bet on Diaz to score. We know the quality of El Kabi. Ezazuli is also in there. Ezazuli didn't play the last game. Oh, yeah, no, I think he played. Yeah, he played against Cameroon. He was taken off.
Sporty FM.
But Ezazuli has also been one quality player in their fold. Then you look at that midfield pair, the AS Roma boy, Ainawi. Yes, that's his name. Ainawi. Very good central midfielder. Then you have Saibari, who plays for PSV. Ismail Saibari. Very good midfielders. Technically intelligent.
Yeah.
Very intelligent midfielders. Ball controlling midfield, quick transitions, crossfield passes, very intelligent passing range about them. And these boys are solid. In defense, you know there's Agued, ever present, experience, comes with a lot of experience. Achraf Hakimi, Mazraoui, and then Masina. Masina, with all his experience, has been in 2 situations that many expected should have been penalties. But you won't take it away from him. Anytime he's in that team, he doesn't take yellow. He doesn't give away silly fouls to take yellow cards. Yeah. He's always very composed with his experience. But the question is, would the Moroccans allow you a lot of opportunities or chances in their half? And not too many teams have succeeded in doing that in a tournament. They've conceded just once in the competition, and that was against Mali.
The penalty.
It was penalty.
Yeah.
So Morocco came into this game as that complete package. They come as a complete team. Goalkeeper Bono, solid. A defense line that has considered just one. Very good midfielders, very sharp attackers. So Morocco come in with that complete unit, with the fans behind them. And this is where Morocco looked like they are hungry for the competition. They are hungry for the title. And it's an opportunity for them to take another step closer to winning it. And I don't see Nigeria stopping them. It will be difficult to see Nigeria stop. And you talk about Eric Schell. Eric Schell, you see, and I keep saying that if Nigeria will lose this game, it will be from the bench and it will be Eric Schell.
How so?
They have their own challenges on the field. Eric Schell could put up a team that could look like they can overcome their challenges as a team.
Yeah.
But it is the same Eric Schell and how he sets up this team to go and play that would affect the Nigerians. Look, Nigeria cannot sit back and play Morocco. They can't.
Well, I agree with you on that score. So you think that what Eric Schell's natural disposition will not be to sit back?
No, they will not sit back.
But don't you think that because of the exigencies of the time and to survive this game, he may learn to rein them in slightly so that it doesn't become this back and forth encounter?
You see, you sit back when you have a very solid defense line and when you have a very good goalkeeper. Because you know, anything they throw at you, they can repel. But this is a situation where anytime that Nigerian backline has come under pressure, they've conceded. Yeah, we saw them against Tunisia. Tunisia were out of that game. The moment they found their way back into the game, Nigeria...
Yeah, I remember they scored Nigeria 2 late goals,
Nigeria conceded goals against Uganda. Nigeria conceded goals against Tanzania. So, and against Mozambique, against Algeria, these two teams never really went into that game for a result. Again, when Mozambique played Nigeria, they had only 2 shots on target. Only 2 shots in the game, none on target. It clearly tells you how much they offered in terms of attacking threat.
Okay.
What Nigeria used to bully these two teams, Algeria and Mozambique, was their own attack line. Osimhen, Adams, Chukwueze, Lukman. That is where Nigeria's strength is.
Okay.
Now, if you have to ask Nigeria questions in a game, these flamboyant attackers cannot have a field day in a game. And that is where Morocco can neutralize their threat, because Morocco will take the game to the Nigerians. The Nigerians will have a lot of defending to do. Of course, one would say they'll play on the break. Yes. But the damage could be done with those forays the Moroccans will make. Moving forward in droves, making sure they capitalize on every least opportunity they get. And that's where Morocco can be dangerous. I know very well that the Nigerians don't have a very, very, very assured backline together with a goalkeeper. So Nigeria would have to find a way in this game. They have to find a way around it. And that's why I'm saying that when it comes to finding a way to undo your opponent, Eric Shell looks more like a one-trick pony. He knows he has very good attackers. Find a way to control the game. We've not seen Nigeria in a situation in this tournament where they've had to soak pressure.
Okay.
And try to play on the break. They've never done it in this competition.
And you think that in this game, they'll have to learn to do that?
This would be the game that they would have to learn to do that. But it comes a bit too late. They may not be able to execute. And that's why I look at the game and I say, well, it's one of those games that unless Morocco self-destruct, Nigeria don't win it. Unless Morocco go into this game and allow Nigeria to enjoy possession, or allow Nigeria to allow their attackers to control the game, to dominate play, allow Lukman to have a good game, allow Osimhen to have a good game, allow Chukwueze to have a good game, allow Adams into the game. That is the only time, or allow Nwobi to control that game. That's the only time Nigeria would have a field day. And that's what I'm saying. Unless the Moroccans self-destruct, I don't see how Nigeria go past them.
Interesting. Let's go to the line. Michael Asare is joining us. Michael, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good. How about you?
Yes, we are fine. From the heavy bomber jacket, I can tell that the I can tell that the temperatures are not kind this morning.
No. I am actually going through it, and I am in Tangier. So Tangier is
it's further up.
It's a bit more cold than Rabat, so I'm really going through it.
I see. What's the temperature? Can you give us an idea of what the thermometers are saying?
Not check this morning. Hold on, let me check for you now. In Tangier. So it's 12 degrees as it stands now, but the wind speed is 8 kilometers per hour, and the humidity is 87%. Precipitation is 33%. So 12 degrees.
12 degrees?
You feel it.
Yeah, 12 degrees to any Ghana boy is very cold, because in Ghana, when we say it's cold, it's 23, 24. 12,
exactly.
12 is crazy. Anyway, how is Tangier? Tangier, wonderful place, right? You must like it there.
Yeah, definitely. It's my third time coming here, actually. I was here for the Senegal-Sudan game, and also here for the Senegal-Mali game. Yeah. So this is actually my third time coming. I've been here since it was Monday. I was here since Monday, and yesterday I covered the press conferences of the two teams, Senegal and Egypt. A lot of Arabic and French, little English. And then I also did cover the training sessions of the two teams as well.
Okay.
Then here we are preparing for the game.
Wonderful. What were the takeaways from the press conference? We start from there, then we'll get into a proper preview. What big things did the two coaches say ahead of the games that will be played this evening?
So Senegal first. It was packed out with Khalidou Koulibaly. They came for the pre-match press conference, and before we even focus on the game, there was one striking thing Khalid Koulibaly said about the AFCON being held every 4 years, being moved from 2 years to every 4 years. And it was a question that was asked him. He actually spoke in English and he said, it is not good for the development of African football because our football is unique in its own way. And staging the AFCON every 2 years allows for countries to improve in terms of infrastructure. It allows for talents to also audition themselves and potentially secure moves abroad, which could be economically beneficial to them and also help for their sporting development. And also, he felt it allows for the countries to compete against each other and fight for that supremacy on the continent. So he felt moving the tournament from a 2-year tournament to the quadrennial tournament wasn't something that was going to help, but his focus was on the semi-final. And I think it was a bold statement. And from the faces of the CAF officials there, including the media officer, Aliyu Goloko, they seemed very uncomfortable with the response from Khalidou Koulibaly. So Goloko had to assert that the press conference, the questions that we ask should just be restricted to the match that is ahead, Senegal versus Egypt. But that was a very bold statement from Khalidou Koulibaly regarding the AFCON being moved. And I believe it will trigger some discussions among the top hierarchy of CAF. For a player like him to speak like that regarding it, I think it is a bold one. And it garnered a lot of reactions, not just from the Senegalese journalists, but also on social media. A lot of people talked about it. Yep, so that was a main point that was made. But regarding the game, I asked Khalidou Koulibaly about the experienced players in the Senegal team and how they are guiding the young ones who are not really into a stage like this regarding the AFCON. And I asked him this question in relation to Edouard Mendy, himself, Khalidou Koulibaly, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Sadio Mane. It looks like almost every department in the Senegal team has one experienced player who has tasted this stage before in there. And how are they guiding the young ones who have not been exposed to this stage of a tournament before? He said right before the tournament, they had been speaking with each other. And even when the tournament started, game after game, they are able to review the game with these players, allow the young ones to share the experiences, some of the challenges they encountered, and then they offer words of counsel to these players, even before the coaches come in. So they've been speaking to them, and he feels every inexperienced player, every young player in the Senegal team now has been armored with a lot of information, judging by the knowledge that they have passed on to them. And he feels they should be ready for this stage. And he said that the players are inexperienced, quote unquote, as regards the AFCON, but he believes that they are of a certain mentality and that what the character they have showed in the team camp will rub off on some of these players, and he thinks they will not really be an issue for them. They also spoke about the Egypt team. They had respect for them and what Egypt has done, but he also said they are Senegal, and they have come to this stage because they did what they were supposed to do. So if they go into the game tomorrow and do accordingly, they will not have any issue. Pap Thiaw spoke about the Egypt team in a similar manner, but he was more focused on his team and what they need to improve on. A question was asked regarding players who are likely to be suspended if they get yellow cards, if Senegal are to qualify to the final. And it is like a tall order, like 7-8 players are on that list. If they get yellow cards, they will miss out. And he says the focus is on getting qualification to the final first. And as such, they needn't worry about who will miss the final or will not miss the final if they haven't made it yet. So the ultimate goal is to ensure qualification to the next stage, which is the final. And then they will think about suspensions or otherwise. So the focus was primarily on the game. And almost everything he said was an admission that Egypt, yes, they are here not because they are not good. They are here because they are good. They have the tournament know-how, and they will be a very difficult opponent. But they trusted and believed that if they work on their game plan and then they do accordingly, they will have little issues dealing with that. And then for Osama Hassan, he spoke in relation to one, Senegal having to play all their games here at the Grand Stade de Tanger. From the start to this stage, Senegal has not played at any venue. And he felt it was an advantage to the Senegalese team. Again, he spoke about Senegal having a day more rest than they did. Don't forget, Senegal played a day earlier before Egypt played against Ivory Coast. So he felt it gave Senegal a certain advantage. But they are focused. They will need to work on their team. And he said one thing, they need to have a certain moral code. I translated from the Arabic. I asked an Egyptian journalist what he meant by that. And he said he was speaking to the state of mind of the Egyptian players, two, the discipline of the Egyptian players. So Osam Hassan, they call him Captain Hassan. He says Captain Hassan referenced that the players need to be very disciplined and cultured on the field of play. That is what Osam Hassan meant by the moral code. So disciplined and well cultured on the field of play, meaning at this stage, it is about their conduct, what they do on and off the ball. He perhaps anticipates that Senegal will try to rile them up, and the reaction from the Egyptian players will tell whether they are losing focus or they are sticking to their game plan. Again, their conduct, attracting needless yellow cards and putting players in very dicey situations. Egypt has already been red carded in this tournament, in their game against South Africa. Attracting yellow cards, he thinks will not really help their cause. And then he also spoke about being in prime physical condition, because he anticipates that the game against Senegal will demand a lot from them physically. So they will need to be in top physical condition to match up to the demands of such a game. And that is also something he spoke about in relation to this match. And he says they are Egypt. They needn't be scared of Senegal. They are here because they have been able to get here by qualifying. They defeated the defending champions. They are the record winners of the AFCON. They should not worry about Senegal and the threat they pose. If they believe in themselves and do their job, definitely they'll be good to go. So that is some few Arabic stuff I was able to translate using my softwares and stuff that I have shared with you. Then Mahmoud Hassan Trezeguet also spoke. He spoke on the Mo Salah Sadio Mane rivalry, and he said they are focused on the game and all that. I think Osam Hassan also spoke about it, and he said it was good that Africa has two top players who we can compare and then have discussions about, and it's good for the African game to have top players like that. But he's only praying that Mane does not have a great game and Salah has a great game and they qualifies his team to the final. So in a sense, that was a pre-match press conference and everything that transpired there.
Interesting point. I was just sharing something with Ray concerning the moral code you spoke about. And it struck me because from what you're saying, it means that the Egyptians view playing for the national team way deeper than a lot of us think. I guess it's a thing of honor and pride, almost like you represent your country, not only in a sporting sense, but you add all these other dimensions. So I was really fascinated when you mentioned what Osam Hassan said about the moral code, the fact that they need to stay disciplined because they are representing their country, but they also need to remember that they can't lose their heads, lose their cool and misconduct themselves. Interesting. Let's start off from the Mane Salah bit. How much of it is it like? Is it that much of a big deal when you like speak to maybe Senegalese journalists or Egyptian journalists? Is it a big deal? The Salah versus Mane showdown in an AFCON semi-final. Are people playing it up, that much, or people? Well, it's just coincidence. It's Salah and Mane who get to meet in a semi-final.
Well, to start with, the two players and how they have reacted to it. I think Mane had an interview with Olympics.com, and I happened to chance on the interview, an 18-minute interview where he spoke about that, and he watered down any kind of rivalry. I think he made it look like a usual thing that people will always go about that stuff, but they are good. There is no kind of rivalry between the two of them, and they try to do their best for their respective countries. He even went on to wish Salah well with Egypt. At that time, it hasn't been cemented that the two of them will be facing each other. So even before it became known that Egypt will play against Senegal, people were starting to speculate about it, because if you looked at the pathway of the two teams, eventually they were going to meet at a point in time if they won their respective matches. Now, afterwards, it looks like the conversation has been around it. Even after Senegal defeated Mali, the conversation started among the Senegalese journalists, and they were whispering amongst each other that maybe it is time for Mane to prove to Salah that he was that guy. And he's already done it to him, not once, twice. Don't forget, Senegal won the AFCON at the expense of Egypt, and then a year later qualified for the 2022 FIFA World Cup at the expense of Egypt, all through penalty shootout. And Salah was in there in the mix, and Mane prevailed over him. So they want much more like a three-peat. Do it back to back and then back to ensure Mane gets the better of Mo Salah. Among the Egyptian journalists, it's difficult to have a conversation with a lot of them, and they don't seem so fascinated about this whole thing. They are more focused on how their team can win. And in fact, I was saying this yesterday, the way they expect their teams to deliver, I think it is way different from how we do ours. Because I think if Ghana had made the semifinals of the AFCON, there will be very little criticism of the team. But these guys, they go all out. They take no prisoners. Seriously, Nathan, because they were very critical of their team. And they said this is a non-Egyptian-like side. So the focus on the Egyptian team is not just about Salah Mane. They are looking at their team and what they tag as the poor football they have played in this tournament, and why they are not so pleased about it, even though they've made the semi-final stage. I was like, wow, this is the standards. Clearly, they are different. So they are not looking at individual battles. They are looking at their team, and their target is mostly towards Osama Hassan. Yes, they have respect for him. They revere him for what he has done. They call him Captain Hassan, Captain Hassan. But where it is that they have to criticize him, they criticize him for what he has not been able to do with their team. So yes, the Salah Mane thing is going on, but I don't think it has gained that traction among the Egyptian journalists like it is with the Senegalese journalists who have been going about it and anticipating a three-peat, Mane winning for the third time at the expense of Mo Salah.
Quite interesting. Gary Al Smith has joined us. Gary, good morning. How are you doing?
Thank you. Morning. Match day. Match day.
Match day is here. Match day is here. Gary, talking about match day, let me ask you this. Are you quite surprised that we are having to enjoy two semi-finals on one day in the AFCON? I mean, typically we see semi-finals getting spaced out, but just your thoughts on this very light one of two semis in a day.
During the AFCON, I think you interviewed me, and you recall we spoke about when Nigeria was going to face Morocco, and I think one of the two teams had to play, or I can't recall. Yeah. One of the two teams had to play 120 minutes or penalty shootout, like back to back or something like that.
Yeah, I think I remember.
To get that far.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had the situation where one of the teams had some journey. They had gained a day more, a day less, and we had spoken about the fact that this is something that CAF needed to look at. And I had given an example that this is where competitions like the Champions League, the Euros, the Women's Euros, etc., seem to have one up on the Confederation of African Football. I think this is their solution for now to the problem. They don't want any of the semi-finalists, or they didn't want to, at the start of the tournament when they were scheduling, anybody to say on Sunday that these guys played on Wednesday and we played on Thursday, they have an extra day rest. They don't want any of that. I think this is the solution that they are looking at.
Okay.
I think so.
Well,
yeah. So that's why I suppose. I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference. I mean, all the listeners, have watched football for many, many years. So maybe I'll leave it to listeners to answer. If there's a final on Sunday, one team plays a semi on Wednesday, another plays on a Thursday. That means the team on the Thursday has Friday and Saturday to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, both are going to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to get ready. So I suppose that's the answer to the question. And yeah, that's why they are doing that.
Well, interesting stuff. I found it quite unique to see or to have 2 semi-finals on a day, but everybody gets probably equal time or the same time to rest before a final. Guys, let's start off with the Mane and Salah subplot that is already there. Interesting subplot. Somehow we have this on our hands to enjoy. Mane versus Salah. The Senegalese want a 3-peat. The Egyptians are hoping to get one back and make the final. Your impressions of maybe the two players and how they've carried their teams up until this point, and potentially what we could have on our hands later today.
Wow. I think it is fair that when Asare Boadu mentions that it is less a thing for Egypt than it is for Senegal. Why do I say so? Senegal have played heavily on the previous games. Egypt have simply, from what I have noticed, Nathan, been focused on the here and now.
Okay.
And I think that in itself is the reason why the two teams are where they are in the history of African football. Look, and I'll piggyback on Asare Boadu's initial assessment of why North African football is different. We've spoken about this on various, on various subjects, even when it comes to club football, how they support their teams and stuff like that. Yesterday, at the press conference, when we got there, Nigeria, Morocco, I was doing Nigeria, Morocco. Even though you are asking me Senegal, Egypt, I'll take an anecdote for Nigeria, Morocco, just to give you a sense. Okay. We got to the press conference. I raised my hands the whole time. And there were 300 of us in the press conference. I have never seen that in my entire journalism career.
Wow, that's a lot of people in a press conference.
I have not seen that ever before. Ghana, African football, Europe, anywhere. I haven't seen it before. 300 human beings in a place for a football press conference. Like, forget final of MTN FA Cup, Ghana Premier League, AFCON final. By the grace of God, this is my, I think, 7th or 8th AFCON. I've not seen it before. So there were many of us. My hand was up. My hand would have been up till Sunday by now. Still, I wouldn't have been able to ask a question by now. But I digress. So the question I wanted to ask, thankfully, was asked by our senior colleague, Osasu Obayuana. And the question was this, to Walid Regragui. Because I didn't understand what was going on since I have been here. And since I had, I've been following this Morocco team. Nathan, it is ridiculous that in Ghana, we will be coached by somebody who has taken us to the World Cup semi-final, an AFCON semi-final. The person is the first in the history of our country, in fact, in the history of world football, to have qualified us to the World Cup semi-final, an AFCON semi-final. The same person has won a continental crown before in the African Champions League. And Ghanaians have the temerity. Listen, the temerity that, as our boss used to say, if I say it, you know which boss I'm talking about. the testicular fortitude. Christopher Opoku, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
The testicular fortitude to question why he makes certain substitutes In fact, why his team is playing the way they are playing. And guess what? Even what is damning, this man, it's not like he's playing football that is not sexy. In the words of Amonike, he's playing good football. And so Sasu asked, Coach, do you think that after you have done all these and end all these, it is unfair that Moroccans still say that your job is on the line? And as we said before, Nathan, Regragui's job is on the line. Everybody in Morocco knows this. Even children on the street know that if he doesn't win this AFCON, they will sack him. Everybody knows. His replacement, like we said the last time, has even been lined up, and the person is waiting for him to be sacked.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. So my colleague Osasu asked him, and this is what he said. I'm looking for the quote again because I said, let us do an artwork on it. He said, first of all, thank you, my friend. I'm quoting him.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you, my friend, for asking this question. I have been waiting for Moroccan journalists to ask it for a long time.
Sporty FM.
And that, yes, it is true. On a normal day, in a normal country, the fact that I have done all you have done, and he added another stat that even blew my mind. Do you know that the guy has only lost 4 games?
Yeah, 4.
Nathan.
4 games. 4 games. What in his coaching? Games. 4 games in his tenure.
In his tenure as Morocco boss. And the games he has lost, it's not like. Asare, please correct me if I'm wrong. He has lost against France.
Yeah. So he lost against France, Uruguay,
Croatia,
and then it was France, Croatia, and then two games against South Africa. One in an AFCON qualifier, and the other at the AFCON.
So Nathan, if you have a coach with this streak coaching the Black Stars, do you think anybody in Ghana will be allowed, even by us journalists, to say that this guy, this person, is not good, but
Gary,
guess what?
Gary, if Otto Addo had such a record, he would be honorary president.
Wallahi, wallahi. And Regragui said, in a normal country, this will be the case that if I have lost only 4 games in the tenure, and these are the countries that I would have lost to, he used an expression. He said, in such a country, I wouldn't be, yes. He said, but this is Morocco. Things are different here. He said, this is North Africa. Things are different here. Now, this is what even struck me when we went into one of our WhatsApp groups after the press conference, and my colleague Osasu was asking the Moroccans that this is what I asked the coach, and this is what he said. One of the guys we've spoken to on the show, Amri, he said in the WhatsApp group, I don't understand what this fixation on what his record has been is. He said, we gave him a job. He is doing the job. He's winning some and he has lost some. His job is to win games, no matter what the level is. If he is not winning games the way we want, we will criticize him. This should be basic. Now guess what? An Egyptian comes to respond and says, you are right. This is the way it is done also in our country, Egypt. So, Nathan, you see, sometimes, and I have always said, if people who listen to me will recall, I have always said that, Nathan, football, no, you ain't Ghana for no.
No.
You ain't West Africans, no. You need football, yeah.
No, we don't.
We are doing something very different.
No. What we are doing is not football. West Africans, West and Sub-Saharan Africans. What we are doing is not football. We don't understand the football, but you see, I've always said it, but even I don't think I have understood the weight and the gravity of why North African football will forever be different until we change the way we think about it. Because me, Gary, I would never ever have given any coach of the Black Stars, but you see, it goes to show why, with the greatest of respect to me myself, I know I'm insulting myself, but that is why my expectations of the Black Stars, my expectations of the GFA are and may never be as high as some of these North African teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It puts things into perspective. And listening to you, you know, all the comments and sometimes the things we see on social, you can tell that the chasm is very wide and the perspectives are very, very different when you look at how some people perceive the game and how we perceive the game.
Nathan, Egyptians are saying, basically, if it is she, they are saying, Mo Salah no way. No, and you see, I mean, we've all followed African football. When you think about it, it makes sense.
Of course, it does.
It makes sense.
Yeah, to add to what Gary is saying, they are not so phased about making the semi-finals. Like I said, yes, they qualify for the semi-final. They don't really care about it. And this is their third semi-final in like the last 5 AFCONs. And they are still criticizing their coach about the brand of football they play. And Salah, as a captain or leader of a team, was not left out. He was also part. They are not pleased. They are demanding more. They know they have seen the best of Egyptian football, and they know how good they can be.
Yeah.
So it is not like, oh, we've qualified for the semi-final. Oh la la, we've done well. No, they came. They praised the coach for what he has done right, and they still ask questions about some of the anomalies in the team. And then on social media and then outside the press conference, they are still criticizing their team that the brand of football they are playing is not the best.
Well, different folks and different standards. Let's talk about Nigeria. We've been joined by Tolosi Afolayan. He's a Nigerian journalist. I don't know if Tolosi is still on the line. Toyosi, sorry. Toyosi, are you still there? Hello? Okay, Toyosi is, we've lost him. We'll get back to that. Interesting conversations. I would love to be in Morocco just to sample people's opinions on Red Rugby. Yeah.
GFA president has been here since the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The West African guys who are here, the officials and stuff.
Yeah.
You see, I think the one thing they are also learning, just like we are also learning, and that's why they say travel and see.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's the standards, and let's not even talk about infrastructure, but even as a people, I am realizing a lot about the socio-economic levels of some of these countries and why they are where they are and why we are where we are. All right. So I'll give you 2 examples. Again, you know I like examples.
Yes. Examples are
yesterday, Amir Zaki, who showed us Pepe in 2008. Former Wigan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Kolo Toure's friend from that semi-final. From that semi-final in Kumasi.
Yeah. And just in case people have forgotten, when that Egypt met that Ivory Coast were beating everybody 2-3-4, 2-3-4, 2-3-4. Egypt caught them and showed them, as they say in Ghana, we taught them Egypt taught them a soccer lesson. Amir Zaki was one, he and Hosni, right?
Yeah.
They were the chief architects of that. So Amir Zaki was on a TV show yesterday with Mido, and this was a conversation. this was a conversation that ensued. Amir Zaki said, I want to say to Zizo, Zizo is one of the current players who is doing very well, but is not getting starts in the team. So he said, I want to say to Zizo, don't be upset that you didn't play the last match. And don't be upset either if you don't start tomorrow. He said tomorrow, that's today.
Yeah.
You can come on as a substitute at any time. And you might be the one who brings the win. Then Mido said, you are right, Amir. What matters most is that we win and qualify for the final. Then Zaki said,
this is Sporty FM, the voice of
I mean, look at Mido here, Zizo. When we played Senegal in 2006, Mido, if you recall, refused to leave the pitch so that I could come on. You remember that?
I remember that. I remember that so well. He and Shehata went into a bit of a spat. And then it was, I think it was, Emad Motaeb who came off to score the winner, and that was Mido's end. He didn't play the final.
No.
It was Amizaki.
No.
It was Amizaki?
It was Amizaki.
Okay.
Zaki
I thought it was Motaeb.
narrating the story. And he said, Zizo, look at Mido here. When we played Senegal in 2006, he refused to leave the pitch so that I will come on. He kept shouting at Captain Hassan Shehata, because that's what they call Shehata. He kept shouting at Captain Hassan Shehata for 1 full hour on the touchline. I came on anyway, scored a winning goal a minute later, and we qualified for the final. And Mido said, Amir, so why are you embarrassing me here? Couldn't you tell a different story? You know? So, you see, these are the kinds of legends they have sitting on TV and speaking to them. So imagine you are a Black Stars player in the semi-final of an AFCON, right? And you have a player who has won AFCON back to back, sitting on TV and talking to you like this. Please, as they say in Ghana, who born dog?
You'd have no choice than to go and deliver.
Because for all Mohamed Salah has done, for Egypt and for himself, he has done nothing in terms of bringing a trophy to Egypt.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing, this is where there's a difference between, I have tweeted that Mohamed Salah's campaign in this AFCON is seeming to become like Lionel Messi in 2022.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be mirroring Lionel Messi's World Cup winning campaign in 2022. But for one key difference, I am thinking, and I may be wrong, maybe it is the mediocre Ghanaian in me speaking again. Maybe that if Mohamed Salah were Ghanaian, with everything he has achieved, I may have cut him some slack. Maybe. But I think finally, Nathan, Egyptians are toning it down on Mo Salah, finally. And I think Jamie Carragher may have had something to... Jamie Carragher or Mo Salah may have Jamie Carragher to thank for that. It has seemed to me that Egyptian social media and Egyptian commentators are taking it slow on the criticism of Mo Salah.
Okay.
And they are allowing him to... Yes, I think so. Maybe I may have it wrong. So such that, to some extent, that the fact that he has brought them this far to the semi-final, but most importantly, if you listen to Mo Salah, in every interview, he keeps reminding people, like I said in the last interview, that the other teams they are playing with in the semi-final have 26 European-based players, 28 European-based players, and 20 European players, respectively, in Nigeria, in Senegal, Nigeria, and Morocco, respectively.
Yeah.
And so they are recognizing that what Mo Salah has done to drag this, quote unquote, with the greatest of respect, this mediocre Egyptian team all the way to the semi-final of this very competitive AFCON is something that should be lauded and not something that should be criticized.
Well, I very interesting point. I also feel that same way about Salah. Let's see if he can take them to a final, possibly win. That would be good. Toyosi Afolayan is joining us. Toyosi, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning. I'm very fine. Thank you for having me, Sporty FM in Ghana.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The Super Eagles are in action tonight against Morocco. Earlier, when I opened my phone lines and I asked for predictions, I had some people saying that Nigeria will ride the storm, go past Morocco, and make the final. Some people think that it is too much of a complex situation to handle. You are playing the host nation, crowd, pressure, and all of that. When you look at the Super Eagles and their journey in this competition, have they been prepared for such an encounter as what we'll see tonight when they take on Morocco in the second semi-final?
I think for Nigeria, we have a lot of things that have prepared us ahead. Remember, the first time was in 2024 when we played the Ivory Coast in the final. In the stadium, we saw all shades of orange and grey, not even Nigeria's color. So it has taught us a lesson that when you're playing against the host, you don't bow to pressure. Of course, there will be a lot of pressure tonight, but you will not bow to pressure. That's what the message is to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Not also forgetting, we played Tunisia in the group stage. This is a North African side. They had, their fans coming up from Tunisia to Morocco. This whole stadium was filled with Tunisian fans. Despite that, we raced into a 3-0 lead. And I also remember when we played against Algeria at, the Marrakesh Stadium. Nigerians were not up to 1,000 in the stadium. We had about 35 people, 35,000 people watching the game. But Nigerians don't amount up to 10% of what, of the attendance against Algeria. But the pressure was nothing for us because we've played higher stakes fixtures. And of course, playing against these North African sides will not do anything to us. But I think tonight will be another different challenge. Playing against the team that is very good, and also playing against the fans. It's going to be very, very chaotic and, fierce. But I think talent is what is going to, play out tonight.
You speak about talent. Nigeria won't have Wilfin Ndidi. For this, what should or how should Eric Schell overcome this absence? And possibly what kind of midfield combination should he employ to ensure that Nigeria will be able to stay in the game, to match Morocco in midfield and have a say in this game?
I think it has to be the most easiest thing for Chelsea to do. We were saying it has midfield edicts on how to pair players. During the game against Uganda, Nigeria fielded 7 new players into the team. And it was like a total overall of the midfield. Rafael Onyedika and Fisayo Dele-Bashiru playing in that midfield. Alex Iwobi didn't play that game, and we still won that game 3-1. It could have been more. Rafael Onyedika is a DM. That's a defensive midfielder who is going to be replacing Wilfred Ndidi. So you are not going to be surprised if you see him perform very well today.
I see. Victor Osimhen will be extremely key to the Super Eagles and their progression. Personally, what are you expecting from Osimhen? Of course, the expectation is that he gets to score, but what kind of performance do you think Osimhen has to put up today to get Nigeria past the line and past the Moroccans?
I need a kind of performance that we put up against Algeria. If you can shut the midfield of, the defensive line of Morocco, I'm going to be very, very happy. Because if you look at how Osimhen plays, he's an all-round attacker. He's acrobatic, knows how to score headers, knows how to score tap-ins. He's everywhere, spacey. So, the hype around Morocco's defensive line, their defensive midfield line, is going to die today, I promise you, because we see how much Osimhen can attack defenders. Romain Saïs, Aguerd and the likes, Hakimi, they will see what a combination of Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen will bring out. And there's the statistics, both of them have assisted each other at least 8 times. All of Victor Osimhen's goals this tournament, not all, at least I think about 3 of them, Ademola Lookman has a hand in 3 of his goals. So you will see the combination between Lookman and Osimhen today.
I see. Interesting. It potentially will be a good one. Let's talk about Eric Schell. I go back a few years to the last AFCON. His Mali team lost their way when they were leading against Burkina Faso. Cote d'Ivoire. Typically, he's not a coach who sits back. He likes to attack teams. Tonight, would you expect him to alter the approach slightly just to keep Nigeria or just to preserve Nigeria in this game? Or you expect him to attack Morocco and see what Nigeria can get from this encounter?
All through this tournament, we've played about 5 games straight, 5 wins. And he mentioned that he doesn't want to sit back, and it's been obvious. We've controlled possession for about 60% of every of the games. 60% possession minimum in every game. And yesterday in the press conference, he was like, I think my players are fatigued, they are tired. We might just sit possession to Morocco and see what they can do, and all of that thing. So what we need to see from Eric Shell today is for him to just play a formation, a tactic that delivers the win. Be it parking the bus or attacking, we want to see Eric Shell, give us the win.
I see. Pressure on Eric Shaw. Finally, Toyosi, predictions. How do you think this game will play out?
I think it's going to be a game one in midfield. You might be saying that when you do a combined 11, you see that Nigeria's midfield is much more better. But of course, I'm going to be bringing some players from Morocco, like Brahim Diaz, to come into a Nigerian team. But the game is going to be one in midfield, actually. Anybody who controls possession and makes use of their chances will win the game. But if there is no dubious call for a penalty, that's the thing.
I see. You mentioned that. Let me just get your take on this. Now, Ghanaian referee Daniel Nilai will handle the game. I think there's a South African referee in the mix, either on VAR or
Tom.
Yes, on I think running the lines of VAR. I'm not too sure. Chelsea, what have Nigerians been saying? Some people think that already this gives Nigeria a brilliant narrative to throw around in case the result doesn't go their way. But broadly, how do Nigerians feel about a Ghanaian and a South African, knowing the context, knowing the rivalry and all of that? How do people feel about a Ghanaian and a South African official handling this encounter?
It's a tough lineup. We saw the news and we're like, why this? Why this? Our so-called rivals are the ones officiating this game. Tom is on VAR, and we have the Ghanaian referee as a center one. Not also forgetting somebody from Tunisia is going to be part of the officials also. Imagine all three teams that are more like our rivals are going to be officiating this game. It's a terrible matchup, to be honest. Nigerians have flooded Twitter, saying a lot of things. If left to Nigerians, they want somebody else to officiate this game. Nigeria's derby is. Now, the Ghana didn't qualify for this tournament. You know how much the rivalry is going to be. Psychologically, this thing has effect. But regardless, I think the game should go in favor of Nigeria.
Okay. I like that. Toyosi, thank you. Thank you so much. All the best ahead of tonight. I'm sure we'll catch up tomorrow to review everything that happens.
Can I ask Toyosi?
Yes, Toyosi, just hold the line. Gary is on.
Toyosi as well.
Yes, Gary. Toyosi is still on.
Good morning. Hope you are well. Gary here from Morocco. What do you say to the fact that, one, there were rumors yesterday at the press conference from Tunisian journalists that their FA will make a bid for Eric Shell for him to come and get their national team job, and the what do you call it? The carrot they are using is the World Cup, considering that the Super Eagles didn't qualify for the World Cup. What do you have to say about that? And then secondly, where do you think Eric Shell stands in the pantheon of Nigerian coaching greats already?
Let me start with the second question you asked. If Shell delivers a fourth title for us, I think I'll put him in top three. It is somebody who delivers a title that we all remember. We remember the person who delivered 1980. We remember 1994, and we also remember 2013 Stephen Keshi. So if he delivers this title for us, especially unbeaten away in Morocco, I think he has to be in top three. We didn't just sit back and play football. We play beautiful football. So, I think when you play good football and you deliver results, that's fantastic. The World Cup loss is not entirely on Eric Shell, so I won't entirely blame him. He has only lost about, I think, 1 or 2 games as Nigeria's manager. So it's a good one for Eric Shell. And for the report that the Tunisian Federation wants him, it's not a rumor, actually. It's very, very true. According to what I know, it is very, very true. And they are wanting to double his salary that the NFF are even paying him. So, if you were to be you go to where the grass is greener. Tunisia might not have the pedigree of Nigeria, but we all want to make money. A place where you will not be owed, bonuses and the likes, And then there's a World Cup at stake. If Nigeria does not go to the World Cup, Tunisia might not be going to World Cup, and Eric Schell wants to coach at the World Cup. It might be jumping ship if we don't go to the World Cup. I don't know. I'm just saying personally that it might just be jumping ship because we all want something good. So, and it would be very, very selfish of us to say, nah, you shouldn't leave. So, that's it.
Interesting. Toyosi, thank you. We'll catch up. We'll catch up later. Enjoy the rest of your day. All the best ahead.
Thank you so much.
All right. All the best ahead of tonight.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
All right, listeners. Yes, Gary.
Sporty FM.
Raymond Nyamador is here. Raymond Nyamador was making funny faces when Toyosi mentioned that Tunisia were looking at Eric Schell. Ray, why were you making funny faces?
No. But Gary, I mean,
yes,
so the Tunisians are seriously considering Eric Schell?
Yeah.
No, but what have they seen?
As I ready to say, Raymond. Okay, no. But you see, sometimes, as with many times, when Raymond asks a question, I think we all see the funny side. But let me treat Raymond's question seriously. What have they seen? Let's assume it's a very, very a question that maybe somebody who doesn't, watch football and yeah. So what have they seen? That's a good question. They have seen a coach, one,
This is Sporty FM, the voice
has
of
handled
sport.
one of the most pressure-laden jobs in the world. And let's not mince words. That is what being coach of Nigeria is. We in Ghana say coaching the Black Stars is as tough as being president of Ghana because you are dealing with 31 million coaches. Well, you can try being coach of a country that has in the country 200 million and maybe another 100 million in the diaspora. You can try that. So they have seen somebody who has handled that portfolio with calm and with class. Two, they have seen a coach who took over a World Cup qualifier that was in complete status after two coaches had handled it. Was it 2 or 3? It was Finidi George, Pesero, and
Raw.
I think it was 3 coaches.
Three coaches,
yes.
yeah.
Austin Eguavon.
Austin Eguavon, as
Yes.
you mentioned, Raw left earlier.
3
Austin
coaches
Eguavon.
had handled the World Cup qualifiers. The race looked completely gone and done and almost got them. They were a kick away from making the World Cup. That is 2. 3. Now, if you take Nigerian football history, right, just as we are talking about Egypt about 20 minutes ago, see, Nigerians have seen coaches and they have seen coaches, and they have seen footballers and they have seen footballers, and they have seen tournaments and they have seen tournaments. They have seen the famous run to AFCON 88 by the coach called Manfred Horner. Indeed, it was when Manfred Horner finished second in 88 that when they came to the airport, they were met by Admiral Augustine Aikomu. And then at the reception, he said in a speech that he thinks that, because at the time they were called the Green Eagles. So it was in 88 at that reception that he posited that because of what they had done, they should be called Super Eagles. And that is when they were called Super Eagles.
Yeah.
They finished second. They didn't even finish first. But they played such scintillating football that they were given this name. They have seen the 1994 run, the class of 94. They have seen teams that have won the Olympic Games. That was the under 23 side called the Dream Team.
Yeah, the Dream
So they
Team.
have seen things. Yes. They have seen coaches. And as we speak right now, some of my elders in the job, there's a Nigerian journalist called Kunle Solaja. He's one of my seniors and my mentors from afar. Kunle has covered every tournament, AFCON or World Cup, since 1990. He has been at every single one of them. He told me that what he's seeing now, in his opinion, and he has been covering tournament, like I said, since 1990, and he has been watching the team since 1980 or since 1976, he said. He said, in his opinion, this Nigerian team could have a shout as the greatest of all time. Raymond, this is not a joke.
Wow.
The kind of football, my senior Emeka Nyadike, who, for those who watch football at African football as well, you see him in the studios of Soccer Africa.
Yeah.
He's a paragon, yes, of their football as well. He says he's an honorary member of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria. He also agrees that if this team win the AFCON, they could have a shout as the greatest Nigerian tournament team of all time. So Raymond, if Tunisians are watching, this is the coach they are seeing. Now, this is the statistic to back it up. Eric Schell is only 2 goals away from becoming the highest scoring AFCON team of all time. The record is currently held by Cote d'Ivoire from 2008. Nigeria have not lost a game. As the Nigerian journalist said right now, they have won every game with swagger and style. That is what they are seeing. So maybe, I know we were all laughing at Raymond's question, but maybe it's a serious question we should ask that. What has Eric Schell done and what has he achieved? This is what he has achieved, even though he has not won a title yet. So yeah, that's probably why.
Right.
And Gary, to add to it, he's not lost a competitive game since he was appointed.
Yeah.
Thinking like 17.
Yeah.
So Raymond, are you answered?
Well, Raymond, you see, I'm answered, but you know, some of us know Eric Schell from the other side.
Yeah.
You know, this Nigerian team.
But Raymond, you know, you are not being fair to the guy. No. You cannot blame. We always say, you and I always say, as football panelists and pundits, that a coach is only as good as his last game.
Right.
A player is only as good as his last game.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand?
Yeah.
And we have to judge Schell on it's not even his last game. Look at his last 6 games, his last 8 games with Nigeria. What he has achieved. Look, Raymond,
Gary,
I is superintending a team that have been having a bonus round for 3 games in a row. Oh my God.
You know,
every single game he has been having to contend with the nonsense, incompetence of their administrators and their government officials.
You know, Gary, my challenge just comes in from what I've seen Eric Schell do in 2 years managing that Mali national team, where he didn't have the likes of.
Some time ago, Raymond,
No, Gary, chill. You know, and I'm worried for the Tunisians if they have to make this decision, because Eric Schell looks like if he were a league manager, a checkbook manager.
Yeah.
So give him money, go out there, buy the best players and perform. So this is Eric Schell, who has the benefit of playing with a quality striker like Osimhen.
No, so he's playing with a Man City or a Real Madrid, right?
Very well. So he has Osimhen, he has Lukman, he has Chukwueze, he has Akko, coming to the party. He has Ndidi and the likes. When he's had to deal with teams that he has to create himself and find the key players in he struggles. And the Tunisians don't have that quality to give him.
True.
So he might get the sack after the World Cup. After an atrocious performance at the World Cup, they'll sack him. And that's why I'm saying, well, I'm a bit surprised that they want to move him away from Nigeria to a team where he's going to struggle right from the start.
But Ray, could it also be that? Could it also be that now maybe Tunisia just want to change the football a bit? Because all of us around this table do admit that when you look at Tunisia, they seem to be almost like an aberration to the other North African countries, whereas others are attacking teams incessantly. Tunisia seem to be very content.
They have a strange way of playing.
With playing very defensively, and so maybe they just want a change. Somebody who can, to borrow somebody's words, to liberate the team and let them play some more attacking football.
Well, that's also possible. But Gary, if you watch DR Congo and Nigeria in the playoffs,
I was at that game.
That was a game that exposed Eric Schell's tactical bankruptcy.
Isn't that too strong?
Yeah. And a Tunisian account, Raymond, in your defense, Raymond, in your defense, when this came up yesterday, a popular Tunisian account wrote that he would not want Eric Schell because he thinks Eric Schell is tactically limited, despite the fact that he's a coach that's very progressive and liberates players. But when he meets a certain kind of opposition, he's found wanting. And I tend to agree. It is the same. What do you call it? Oh, what's the word? It's the same criticism I always have of Kwesi Appiah. And for those who follow me, it's the reason why I've always said I still don't want Kwesi Appiah to be Black Stars coach. Because after 2 spells, for me, Kwesi Appiah is very good at qualifying us for tournaments. You qualify us with a game or 2 to spare, no problem. He'll get us past the group stage. If we don't give him any drama and any bonus round or anything, Kwesi Appiah is a master at keeping a very peaceful camp. Players are always happy. But when we get to round of 16 and they pit us against some, 3rd rank or 4th rank or 5th rank African team or 6th rank African team, Kwesi Appiah has always found wanting. So I think that's what the person was saying about Eric Schell as well, Raymond. So
So
you might be right.
We wish them well, but I mean, it's Gary, you have watched the Nigerians play. You've watched the Moroccans play as well. In terms of a complete team, attack, midfield, defense, the Moroccans have conceded just 1 goal. They've looked very decent going up front, and they've played with a lot of intensity. DRC asked Nigeria lots of questions in that playoffs. Nigeria clearly struggled. Eric Schell was all over the place tactically. This time around, he comes up against an opponent that is even a notch higher than the DRC side they met. Can he do the business?
That's the most important question, in my opinion, that the Super Eagles face and have faced in this AFCON. I said in the last interview, or when we previewed the quarters, Nigeria have not had a team, and when Omar Akatuba interviewed me as well, I said the same. That is what I thought Algeria were going to do. You see what Morocco did to Cameroon? If Morocco do that, because Morocco pressed until the 90 whatever minutes the referee blew the match. Even when the referee blew the match, they were still pressing. If they do that against Nigeria, Nigeria's trump card at this tournament is that, like the Nigerian journalist said, they have dominated any game. Any time an opposition, and in specific case, the World Cup players told us, but I think the team that came closest to that was in their first game, where they were all, they had not achieved the fluency that they have now. Yes. If Morocco pressed them, you see, for all Eric Schell's goodness, his team have also not gelled for as long as this Moroccan team have. They don't have what we like to say in Ghana, the telepathy. And I know it's cliche, but what is telepathy? Telepathy is
chemistry.
Yes, I'm looking for a team that all Ghanaians can relate to. Telepathy is Hearts of Oak
2000, yes. Where they could almost close their eyes and know where everybody would be at time T.
We played a documentary that Emmanuel Ayamga did again, and you listen to Charles Taylor and Amankwa. Both of them mention something that and that's why documentaries are important, because you hear things from the people that ordinarily you wouldn't know or expect. Amankwa and Charles Taylor said when they got so good that Jones Atukwefiu could wake them out of bed and put them on a park, and they will know where the other player is without even watching. If you give anybody the ball in defense, he wouldn't even raise his head. 90% of the time, he will know that this defensive midfielder will not be standing here. He'll be standing here. He knows that Don Bote will be standing here. He knows that if I kick this ball Dombote will move. That is what telepathy is, and that is what Morocco have. The frightening thing about this Morocco team is that even when their starting 11 are not playing and they bring on substitutes, those substitutes also know where their other players will be, no matter what happens. That is what Nigeria don't have. And if Morocco press, like we saw them do against Cameroon, you see how Cameroon didn't even play some of the ball. If Morocco are able to achieve that today, I suspect they'll be able to beat Nigeria. But this is why the Moroccans are also afraid, Nathan and Raymond, because the one team that can break that rhythm, the one team that can do that is Nigeria. That is why, for me, in my humble opinion, and in my humble career as a sports journalist or watching African football, I have not been as excited as I am today to watch an AFCON semi-final from a tactical point of view purely than I am for this game. This is as close, in my opinion, again, to getting two world-class peak teams that I have come to see, in my opinion, in an AFCON semi-final as I am coming to see today in a very long time.
Sounds like it will be fun. I'm still, I don't know. I don't know if Nigeria would want to be conservative. And for me, that's where I get concerned, right, about Eric Schell. Because with Morocco,
why would you want him? Why would he? I mean, I'm asking you from a tactical point of view, Asare Boadu. Why would he want to be conservative? What would it achieve?
Okay,
so I don't know, but I think statistically, Nigeria has the best PPDA in the tournament.
Okay,
it means yes, and they are the second best pressing team in the tournament as well.
Okay,
exactly. And if you look at Eric Schell and his approach, his Malian side at the last AFCON played such football.
Yeah.
They will force high turnovers from the opponent, create short actions from it, and score goals. It is like a repeat of that in this tournament with Nigeria, because if you check their statistics, in the 5 matches played, they are only second to Morocco in terms of the starting distance for pressing. Morocco starts their press at exactly 47.4 meters away from their goal.
So 47.4 meters. 47.4 meters is
away from their goal.
Okay, I'm just trying to imagine. That's what almost halfway, right? Almost halfway of a pitch. Almost half the distance of a pitch. Not so.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Then for Nigeria, it is 46.2.
Okay, there's not too much of a difference.
Exactly. The pressing sequences for Morocco is 69. But for Nigeria, it is 76. So Nigeria trigger more pressing instances than the Moroccans do. But Morocco start at a more advanced position, although it is marginally ahead of that of Nigeria. But in terms of effective pressing and then forcing turnovers from the opponent, Nigeria are able to win the ball after every 7.6 passes from the opponent. Morocco is 8.5. So if the opponent plays like 8 passes or maybe 9, Morocco is able to win the ball from them. In Nigeria's case, if the opponent plays 7 or 8 passes, Nigeria retrieve possession from them. But I think Nigeria's biggest issue will be the absence of Wilfred Ndidi, because he's the key initiator in the middle for them in these sequences. And he's ranked top high for most interceptions in the tournament. He's ranked in the top 10 for tackles won. And I think his absence would definitely affect Eric Schell. So I think it fits into the conversation he had yesterday that he's seen that Morocco also dominate possession and they will want to try the counter-attacking game against them. I think he's really read something. He knows the absence of Iwobi would take something away from his game in the middle.
Indeed.
So he tries a different system, which Nigeria has also utilized effectively in this tournament, creating opportunities from counter-attacks, long balls, and that's also a weakness of the Moroccan team. They are not good in dealing with long balls. So I think Schell has a plan, trust me.
What?
True. Nathan, Schell may have to go Stoke City today.
Yes, that's that's the point I was making, that I don't think it would be wise for Nigeria to go into what we call a basketball game with Morocco. I don't think it would make any sense for Nigeria to go back and forth. If once the game starts to swing, I think it will go out of hand for Nigeria.
Yeah,
Ray.
But Gary and Michael,
let's finish and let's talk about Senegal and
Help
Egypt.
me with this. Now we've seen Nigeria play with a three-pronged attack. Osimhen, Lookman, Adams. Of course, they have the numbers. There's two goals, 2 assists for Adams. There's 4 goals for Osimhen, 2 assists, and there's 3 goals for Lookman and 4 assists. So they have the numbers. Should Eric Seau drop one of them to bring in an extra body in midfield, and then possibly bring Iwobi closer to these 2 frontmen, Lookman and Osimhen, and then add another body in Dele Basiru to Onyedika in midfield?
So he goes, what, 4 or 5?
No, so he has 3 solid midfielders. He will be playing right in front of the midfielders. And then you have Osimhen and Lookman playing up front.
So he goes 4 in the middle.
Yes.
But which means
almost like a 4 in the middle. So a 4-3-3, but Iwobi is playing a bit more centrally. You get it. In front of the midfield and behind the
But
attackers.
you're talking about dropping Akor.
So you drop Akor.
So if he's dropping Akor, who then does he play?
So he drops Akor for an extra midfielder. That's the only way he wins this game.
For an extra midfielder.
If you look at the Nigerian team and their zones of
Michael, we seem to have lost you. We can't hear you. No.
The voice
of control.
Okay. Well, we can hear you now.
I'm not muted here though.
No problem. We can hear you now.
So I said it. So CAF is using the Opta Index for analysis and technical assessment of this tournament. Now, per the zones of control, per the documents made available, Nigeria's zone of control is within the middle area, which is 55% of their total touches. The only area they concede to, the control to the opponent is in the opponent's penalty area, the D, and then marginally outside the D, which is in the very central zones of the pitch, especially in the half of the opponent. But Nigeria takes control of their half and then the middle of the park. Now, why they're able to do this is that on paper, they start with 3 starting midfielders, but they are very fluid. And someone like Lookman has been used, although he's a wing attacker, he has been used as a central attacking midfielder. That is the role he's been playing. So, in effect, Nigeria have fluid 2 midfielders.
Asare, please. Is that basically a 10 or an 8.5?
Let's say he's in between 8 and 10. That is the replace. And Iwobi is like the 8. So let's say 10 for Ademola Lookman because he operates very close up to the penalty area.
Yeah.
Now Nigeria without the ball, and I think that is why they are effective. Without the ball, Akor Adams joins in. So they have like 5 men who station themselves in the area and be able to block the channels for passing of the opponent. So
okay.
On paper, they look like 4-3-3, but without possession, they are like a 4-5-1. They leave Osimhen just up front. Akor Adams occupies the right wing. Then Lookman occupies the left wing. He moves from the central area to the left. Then Alexi will be Frank Onyedika and Wilfred Ndidi would occupy the central zones. And that is how they set up without the ball. So, Raymond, yes, I get your point, but I don't think they need an extra midfielder here. Because if you are not careful, you would overpopulate the midfield area. And there is too much congestion in this game if you do that. Because Morocco also concentrate on their middle, although their setup is very different. Their zone of control is mostly in the middle area. Similar to Nigeria, all 55% per the data made available. So I think Nigeria are good to go with their shape, and it would suit a typical counter-attacking game. Lookman can hold on to the ball and then quickly find someone like Osimhen or Akor Adams, who's always willing to make a run, sacrifice himself for the other players. Then Alexi will be, they've been calling him the Iniesta of this tournament. I think unsung hero in this Nigeria team because he's been giving very precise passes, line-breaking passes. He just gets the ball and is able to locate an opponent. He plays the ball either into space or directly to the opponent, just one pass. So I think, yes, if Nigeria decide to go a bit conservative today, they will cede control to Morocco, allow Morocco to play, but they will trigger their press at a point where they will stand the Moroccans and then release the balls quickly, long balls, which Morocco are very susceptible to. They have the men to do such a job, and it will be dangerous for Morocco. In fact, Nigeria's strength is Morocco's weakness. Morocco has a solid team, but I don't really trust their defense. And it's also been one area where the Moroccans have spoken to, their journalists have criticized the coach because they feel they did not select their best defenders available. They have always lambasted him for selecting someone like Roman Saiz, who after the first game has not been available again. They think Adam Masina is not really your go-to guy to give you that solid defense. And Nigeria's strength area is the attack. Raymond brilliantly mentioned it. Akko Adams has 2 goal contributions in terms of direct goal scores, but if you add the passes and everything, he's created like 6 goal actions for Nigeria. Lookman is the best playmaker in this competition with 7 goal contributions. And Osimhen, in the last game against Algeria, just proved to the entire African continent that he's that guy if you're looking for the top goal scorer in Africa as it stands now. So the combined trio of Osimhen, Akko Adams, and Lookman alone are devastating enough to cause a lot of problems for the Moroccan defense. And that is Morocco's weakness. Achraf Hakimi, excellent going forward. But can he afford to search forward, make those runs to contribute to Morocco's attack when he has to face this very deadly Nigerian attack? Again, at the left, can Morocco afford to push numbers forward, which they have mostly done? So I would not be surprised if today is tagged as a mourning day, a day of mourning in Morocco. I think Nigeria has what it takes to stop them.
Well, we'll see.
Michael, finally, Michael, I mean, Nigeria in their last 2 games against Algeria and Mozambique had a team that didn't face a single shot on target. Played against teams that did not even manage a single shot on target because of how Nigeria set up and because of how they nullify their threat. Now they come up against a Moroccan team that would ask lots of questions. Nwabali will be tested. We know he's not the best of defenders, best of goalkeepers. That Ajayi-Basse partnership has not really faced very deadly strikers like Diaz or El Kabi or Ezazuli. They've not come up against quality opposition like that.
But the Moroccans will have to go through that midfield to cause the Nigerians problems.
No, but this Nigerian midfield without Ndidi is never the same.
Well, I mean, on the basis that somebody will have to be smart enough to always cover for Bassi when those moments appear, when he breaks the defensive line and then steps into midfield.
That guy has been in Ndidi. But even in their last 2 games, the teams they played against never really played football.
Fair point. Morocco,
they never really played.
Better attack.
Morocco would obviously has so many questions. That's why I'm saying that if Eric Chia would win this game, he has to drop one of his attackers.
Okay, so Raymond,
and
to answer again,
put one extra body in that middle of the pitch who will be a spoiler. He just plays as a spoiler in the game. He doesn't have too much to do. You just you do what Park Ji-sung will normally do in games. you get me?
Yeah.
And that is why you need one extra body and then sacrifice one of his offensive attackers. Because Iwobi can play in that number 10 role.
Okay.
And then you put Lookman on his natural position.
On the left.
Up there.
Okay, so you go with Osimhen up top, Lookman on the left.
Yes.
Iwobi in the hole.
In the hole.
And then you go with
it's almost like a Lookman and Osimhen leading the attack. With Iwobi playing right behind them. Then you have your Dele Bashiru, Onyedika, and Onyeka in the middle of the park.
So you go with Bashiru, Onyedika, and Onyeka.
Yes. And then it means that Bashiru's work will just be to be a spoiler.
Then it means that so effectively what you're saying is that Nigeria will have, so their team will be very lopsided.
It won't be.
Down the right, there's nobody, because if you are benching Akko,
He wants to play counter-attacking football. And these players would always do their job for you. Iwobi can drift to the left, drift to the right, move in that space. He can move across the line.
Okay, fine.
You get it.
So Iwobi's starting position is what?
Iwobi?
Yes.
Behind the two attackers.
Behind the two.
That's the only way he wins this game. If he plays those three attackers who have gotten him goals in this tournament, Morocco will knock them off the
pitch. So you're saying that Nigeria will be narrow, probably in midfield.
Yes, they have to be.
Narrow in midfield with Lookman providing the pace on the break.
Yes.
And it will be kind of tying things up.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
If he plays all three of them, Akko, Osimhen, and then Lookman, if he plays all three, he'll lose his game.
Okay, my counter argument is that if he plays all three, he tells Morocco that this is what I have. I dare you to attack.
And Morocco would attack it. And Morocco for me, I mean, you look at their defensive play this time. They've considered just one. You can talk about
have they faced a team Nigeria?
They're not having quality mid defenders and all, but they've been able to shut teams up.
Fair.
Okay. They've considered actually one goal. They've not considered a goal from open play.
They haven't considered from open play.
And that was a penalty.
That's a
penalty.
Not
considered from open play.
Yeah, penalty from Mali.
This Morocco team look the real deal.
I also think Morocco's
nobody's talking about error prone in Wabali. Wabali is one second away from making all the good work of this Nigerian attack.
Raymond, again, you make a point, everybody is laughing, but you are right, because the stats bear you out.
Yeah.
Nwabali has not had to make a proper save in about 4 games now.
Yeah. So
that's the thing. So that's the trick that Nigeria have been using or have to use today. They have to be, based on everything we have discussed, they have to be so good in the press, the counter press, that they have to make sure as much as possible, Morocco will do everything but not get into a position where they are pressing the goalkeeper himself.
Yeah.
So that will be one of the things, yes.
And
it's not
then
that Nwabali is not good. Yes, please go ahead.
I was just saying that, and then there's the added threat of the set piece, and we've seen what the Moroccans can do from the set piece. In fact,
the Moroccan coach has said it himself. He said it before the Cameroon game. He said that statistically, when he was asked what he thinks he can do, when he was told about the strength of the Cameroonian team, he said, well, statistically, throughout the competition, Morocco has been the best at, so obviously they are going to utilize that, and they did.
Well, we'll see. Tough test for either country. The Moroccans may be playing at home. I feel that's the biggest weight, playing in front of a charged crowd. Let's see how Nigeria even handle the pressure of playing the host nation and all the other elements. Guys, let's talk about Senegal, Egypt. And we've spoken about the Mane bit. Gary, I'll start off with you. What will you say to those who look at Pap Thiaw and still say that a lot of people think that there's a level or probably 2 levels he has to get to? Some people are not convinced by what they've seen from Pap Thiaw. Do you share that opinion, or you think that he's done the work and once he's here, he has the potential of making the final?
Absolutely. There's nothing in the Stevie so far of handling the Senegalese team that suggests that he's an imposter in the job. There's nothing, right? Because like Regragui, he has delivered on his mandate. He has not been given any competition so far where he has not passed with flying colors, winning convincingly or playing beautiful football or football that is pleasing on the eye, or most importantly, when you are given lemons, you make lemonade. The lemons he has been given in the quality he has in the Senegalese team, has he been able to utilize those players to the maximum, or to the, what's the word again, Nathan, help me, to the top level of their abilities Has he been able to squeeze? Yes, is the answer. In fact, he has said in press conferences when he is asked about, oh, this player or this player, and he has said, not once, not twice, that he came to the AFCON. He's one of the few coaches who had he had the option. You know what the options were? Because he could bring 23 players.
Yeah.
CAF are only paying for 23 players for every team. So CAF are playing for every team to bring 23 players. But they are allowing every team to bring 28. So the extra 6 players, you will pay for it yourself. And he has brought 28 players. And he's saying that every one of those 28 players is a starter. Nobody is guaranteed a starting berth. That's what he's saying. So if you ask me whether he's one or two, again, like Regragui, it will be unfair to judge him that way because right now, as we speak, he has shown little to no weaknesses. Who has beaten Park? It's only Brazil.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's the answer to the question. If there are any, I mean, I suppose you are going to ask other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael, from a tactical standpoint, let's talk about Senegal and then we go to Egypt. We've seen them do very interesting things in this competition. Sadio Mane, the outlet through the left primarily. We've seen Ghana Gay anchor that midfield very well. And an attack that's seen, Ilman Ndiaye, even though he's not even had a good tournament, Ismail Assar hasn't lit up the competition. You have Mbaye coming off, the bench to score. Now, juxtapose that to the Egyptians. We saw what they did to Cote d'Ivoire. Surgical precision, precise plan and all. How do Senegal handle such a team? A team that can be very difficult to break down, brilliant on the break, smart with the press, and very efficient. Do Senegal need to change anything about their approach today if they have to survive against Egypt?
Well, I think no. If you've monitored Senegal, they've also learned to adapt to opponents, but they have still maintained that character or their style of play, which is about control and authority, because they love that, and it is what brings the best out of their main players. If they have control, if they are determining what is happening in the game, then it allows them to express themselves the Senegal way and do their best. And if you also observe their game against Mali, they did not really start well, and it felt like the Malians were going to give them a tough time. But again, they played some patient football rather than trying to match the Malians and create quite a spectacle, one that will be like an end-to-end action sort of. They decided to be patient, bide their time, study the Malians, and then impose their own game on the Malians. And that is what they did. And eventually they capitalized on that, nullified the threat that Mali were posing, and then they eventually got a goal. The frustrations out of it caused Mali to start getting yellow cards, and then out of that instance, Bissouma was showed 2 yellow cards and he was withdrawn from the game. So Senegal know what they are about and they know what they are doing. If you observe Egypt, they've been much more about chaos. Like Egypt's play has been very contrasting to the Senegal game. Yes, they've oozed character. They've showed that this is who we are, but it's been a bit chaotic. Egypt won games in the group stage against South Africa. They won, yes. But again, if you carefully watch the game, it was quite too chaotic. And Egypt even had to have a man sent off. In their game against Benin, again similar, they had to win after extra time. In their game against Ivory Coast, they won, but it was once again chaotic. And I think it is why a lot of the Egyptian journalists are complaining about the kind of football they are playing here, because they don't see control, they don't see authority, which is very present in the Senegal team. Chaotic. So how will Senegal's control and authority match up to the chaos that Egypt will bring? Because it looks like that is what the Egyptians under as Osama Hassan thrive on. and they seem to enjoy such moments. It brings the best out of their game. Typical chaotic football. How will Senegal's control reign supreme over that? I don't think it will suit Senegal to match the chaos of Egypt, because Egypt are comfortable playing like that. Senegal are not known for that. So to answer your question, I don't think Senegal needs to change to be able to match up to Egypt. I think it is rather Egypt adapting their game to know how to be patient enough when Senegal has that control against them. And about the Papetiao thing, why he's able to exert control and dominance in his games is that Gary mentioned it. I think of the squad list they submitted, they are only able to use 26 out of the 28 players they brought to this country. Of the 26 players officially registered, the only players is not used are 3, meaning he's used 23 players so far in this competition. And of the 3 unused players, 2 are goalkeepers. And we know you don't mostly change goalkeepers. So only 1 outfield player has actually not seen any minutes in the Senegal team. And this is their team squad from their last game. If you look through the list, the only player who has not actually played as an outfield player is defender Antoine Alpha Mandi, who plays for OGC. He's not seen any minutes. And in fact, the Senegalese bench have contributed more goals than the starters.
The bench has contributed more goals
than the starters. And it reads like this.
That says a lot, too. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Ilman Ndiaye, I think, did he come off the bench to score? I know that
he started the game.
Mbaye came off the bench to score.
Ibrahim Mbaye, he came off the bench to score. There is also Pape Sharif Ndiaye. He does not start. He has 2 goals. There is Nicholas Jackson. He did not start the last game. He has 2 goals in the tournament. So on their bench in the game against Mali, there were players who had contributed more goals than those who started the game. So he knows he has a large squad, but he knows how to use them. And the support system for Papetiao is brilliant. Kalilu Fadiga, Elijah Diouf, they are playing their own roles, but they also have a team of match analysts who are consistently producing evidence to the coach as to why a certain player must be changed in his role, he must be sacked off, and then this player has to go in. So I think they are a well-coached team. Yes, Papetiao is fronting it, but I don't think he's the only guy doing the job. They have a solid team, a very good support system, and then an excellent squad to operate from. I don't think Egypt has played any opponent so far in this competition like Senegal. And aside the chaos that they have displayed in this competition, the character they displayed, they will really be put to the test in this particular match.
Well,
Nathan, if Senegal play at their maximum, if I can put it that way, right? If they play at their maximum and at their absolute technical best, we might see a historic beating for Egypt if they play that way. No, I'm serious. Based on everything Asare Boadu has said, Egypt have very, very marked weaknesses. And indeed, anytime I listen to Mo Salah speak after games, I have a sense that he knows they are winning in spite of those weaknesses. You know, and that is why sometimes tournaments football, you know that they say football, no, they talk through sometimes.
Yeah.
But as football fans, we always hope that football they talk through. Why? So that the team that quote unquote deserves to win wins. You know, sometimes the team wins the tournament and you're like, oh, they deserve to win because, you know, they've gone through the paces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Senegal will be that kind of team. To add to, and not to repeat anything as Boadu has said, especially the last point. For us as Black Stars supporters and watchers of the Black Stars, this is something that we would love to see happen. What am I talking about? Aliou Cisse was in the job from 2015, right?
Yeah, thereabout, yeah.
Yes, from 2015. It seems that even though they let Aliou Cisse go, the structure of the Senegalese national team, the Teranga Lions, did not change anything, but rather built on everything. I want to repeat this. They did not change anything about the structure. They rather built on everything. So one of the accusations, or the criticisms of Aliou Cisse's dressing room was that, sometimes players or dressing rooms just need a new voice in the dressing room. That's all they need.
Yeah.
It is not that Aliou Cisse was bad, but sometimes, like mothers will tell you, like fathers will tell you, sometimes they need somebody to come from outside to speak to their children, because their children have heard the same voice.
And they are tired.
So sometimes the mother will tell you that, Charlie, this is my child. I need a pastor. That's why they will come and call a pastor to come and talk to your child. Because the same thing your mother will say, which is sensible, it is right, but you just need a new person to tell you for the penny to land, for it to make sense to you, for you to wake up. Because sometimes familiarity breeds contempt. Now, in my humble estimation, Senegal did not need to sack Aliou Cisse, the manager. They needed to sack Aliou Cisse, the voice. In Papi Thiaw, they have only changed the personnel. But when you ask the question about whether, I dodged the question. I said, I didn't answer you about whether he's that good or that bad.
Yes.
I only said he has not lost any job, so we can't judge him like that. But truly, he is not at the level of what's it called? Some of the coaches you go and meet at the World Cup. He's not at their level.
Yeah.
But I didn't answer you. I didn't answer the question the way you wanted me to, because you see, if I answered you truly and honestly, Africa will never ever grow in terms of our coaches.
True.
And Hossam Hassan said this in the press conference. As I do, right? He answered this in the press conference. Somebody asked him about the African coaches being in the quarterfinal of the AFCON. And for listeners, the last time this happened was in 1965. Think about it.
1965.
61 years. But should we say, you see, at the next AFCON, we may get to a place where all the coaches are foreigners. And because of how fickle we are as football watchers, we'll come and sit on this show and say, African coaches are not good. But this is what we have to do, Nathan. Whether our coaches fail or not, we have to keep trying until we succeed. That is why, again, when Raymond says Otuado is not good, sometimes, remember, no. And again, you see, I am slow to cast a stone, because I agree. Otuado is my biggest problem going into the World Cup. But again, I am the same person who has to admit, Nathan, if we don't keep giving the Otuados and Kwesi Appiahs the chances, they need to grow. Somebody was asking yesterday that we were discussing on our WhatsApp group when Javi Alonso was out, weren't we yesterday?
Yes.
And you were asking, Nathan, who was it?
It was Raymond. Raymond said that all these Gen Z managers,
Yes.
And so I asked him that, if you don't employ Gen Z managers, who should we employ now?
Thank you. That's the question. So we have to be asking the Raymonds of this world, if we don't give the Hossam Hassans the opportunity for them to fail at this level, the chance opportunity for them to fail at this level, who do we expect to be giving them the opportunity? Because it's not like the African Champions League is at the level of the European Champions League. It's not like the African Champions League is at the level of the Copa Sudamericana or the Copa Libertadores. So if we don't give our managers those opportunities, who should come and give them the opportunity to be failing at this level? And this is my reading of the situation. That Hosam Hassan, look, his football has been chaotic for about a year now. Indeed, if he had not reached the semi-final of the AFCON, he would have been sacked 100%. But they are giving him the opportunity to grow, and he has proven with a team that is the team that is not closely at the level from a player point of view of the Morocco they are playing against in the semi-final, the Senegal they are playing against in the semi-final, the Nigeria they are playing against, and yet they are proving that there is more than one way to win football tournaments. You see, and I come back to my facts that sometimes football not they talk true. Football ain't kind of cray. Because you see, this Egyptian team, on paper, the least telepathic team of all the four teams.
Yeah.
The least telepathic. They can, as Nigerians say, they can wuru their way to the title.
Yeah.
Nobody can come and nobody should come and say that they don't deserve it. No, what do you mean they don't deserve it? They beat everybody put in front of them and they won that title if they win. You see? So my humble reading of the situation and I'm watching everything here with the lens of a Black Star supporter. Because I want us look, we need to gain our place on the table of men. And every single match I watch at this AFCON makes me more and more afraid that Nathan, if we don't take care, people are passing us by. Look, people are passing us by. Oh, we are joking with the work. If we don't take care, we will get to a point where I swear, the next AFCON, as we're qualifying, we will qualify. I mean, I have no doubt about it. The Pamoja AFCON, we will qualify. I am very scared that we will go to Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and we'll go and disgrace ourselves there. Because the things people are doing to win games here, the Black Stars that I am watching, you see, and that is where I'll take Raymond Stone and give to him. Charlie, the things people they do quarter. And that is my fear. Watching Senegal, watching Egypt. There are two very different teams on two different journeys. But Quao has been given the opportunity not just to coach a team, but from 2015, Senegal have done trial and error, allowed Ali Cissé to take the team to a certain level, so that right now, look, they can sack Papi Thiaw today, and they have two other coaches in Senegal waiting, who can come to the AFCON today. Come and take this team, speak to this team, two locally based coaches, so go into the dressing room, speak to this team, and he will be every bit as respected as Ali Cissé was and Papi Thiaw was.
Ray, we have a vox pop.
No, just chill.
Gary interviewed some fans. We'll play that in a second. You finish and then we get
Gary,
into that.
you see, when I go hard on some of the coaches, I go hard because look, the national team is not like a club side. You don't have the luxury of getting all your players in all the time to get them to train. As a national team coach, you must figure out your best players, figure out a plan. When they come, you hit the ground running.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no room for Matra Makwe. There's no room for you, the coach, to come and experiment with the squad. That's why sometimes, and with national teams, you go into a competition and it's always a knockout competition. You get knocked out, you have to wait for another 2 years or another 4 years to get into the next. And so you cannot be taking chances with Gen Z coaches or Matra Makwe coaches or these new boys who are now coming to build their CVs. You can't build your CV with the national team. That's why some of us are very critical of national team coaches who come and don't hit the ground running and deliver instant results. That's why some of us are not taking it lightly with Toto. But you see, Hosam Hassan, the Egyptian coach, I would have expected that with all the opportunities he got as a coach in his club sides, Hosam Hassan is one of the coaches who's managed so many teams in Egypt, from Al Masry to Telecom Egypt to Zamalek to Pyramids to Al Masry. He's never done anything good with it.
Yeah.
He's never covered himself in glory managing any team in Egypt. But you see, when they gave him this Egyptian job, he managed to use his experience. So a lot of what he's doing at this tournament is purely based on his experience, having coached a lot of teams in Egypt, and knowing some of the best local boys, identifying them easily, and being able to put them together to form the core of this national team. If you look at this team, here's Asare, Al Ali boy. Hani, who plays on the right, Al Ali. Ibrahim in the middle, Al Ali. Fatou, Zamalek. Then Abdelmaguid, Zamalek. Asare, Eman Asare. Another Ali boy. Atiat, Ali boy. So he's picked the best. The boys who can deliver for him, do a job for him. And he's giving them 2 world-class players up front. Mamouche and Salah, go and play. So he's not really done so much work on this team in terms of picking his burger stars and putting them together. But he's just used his reputation as an Egyptian great. And a lot of these players look up to him. No player dare disrespect captain in that squad. Captain Hassan in that squad. Nobody dares disrespect him. Okay? And a lot of these boys look at him like how the Real Madrid boys saw Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah.
That's what is working for Hussam Hassan in this team. But otherwise, in terms of pure coaching, in terms of coming up against some of the best coaches in the world and succeeding, Hussam Hassan would fall short at the World Cup. Definitely. We'll see a bit of that at the World Cup.
Yeah. Oh, it's true.
Same with Senegal.
Yeah, very true.
Yes.
Very true.
Same with Senegal. Pape Thiaw, in terms of his body of work as a coach, he coached a biscuit team. Dakar Biscuit.
Dakar Biscuit.
They call the team Tally. They call the team Tally. Something Tally. That's in terms of his coaching at club side. Getting about 3 years experience. He called that biscuit team. Then after that, they gave him the Senegal B team or the Chan team.
The Chan team.
And then
won with them.
And then he came to display. He too, in terms of his body of work as a coach, clearly, if Senegal are looking for a coach to go to the World Cup and perform, it is not Thiaw. It is not him. He too is hiding behind the quality of the players he has in his fold. There's Gay, 36, controlling the midfield. There's Mendy, there's Koulibaly, there's Mane. So he's also hiding behind quality players to do the job. And you see, a lot of us want to see a coach a team. Get the best out of the boys via your tactics. But a lot of these coaches always hide behind the individual brilliance of some of these boys. Look, if they're going to get stuff for Egypt, you can expect a certain Mohamed Salah to pop up with magic, a certain Mamouche to pop up with magic. Same for Mane, same for possibly a Jackson. If he decides to score on his day, he's a very deadly striker as well. And then Idris Agi, or you expect a Koulibaly to not home from a corner or something. That is how a lot of all these coaches play. And that's why I'm saying, going into this game for Senegal and Egypt, look, interestingly, I was looking at the backline of these two teams. Goalkeeper plus the 4 defenders for Egypt, they are 157 years old.
What has that got to do?
No, I'm saying that it's a very old defense. El Shenawi himself, he's 37. Then you pick the defenders in front of him. You pick those standing in front of him.
We have to play the
No, Nathan, relax. When we are doing analysis, allow us to finish the analysis. Don't be in a hurry. And then when you pick the Senegalese team, plus Koulibaly, plus Mendy, you have 147 years. These are very old defenders. The two teams. They are parading a very aged backline. But what do they have? A lot of experience.
Yeah.
So we may possibly be in for a game of wits. Everybody it's going to be a chess game, more like it.
Yeah.
A lot of experience at the back, quality goalkeeping, a bit of everything there.
Yeah.
Then you come to the midfield, where you would expect Gay to run the show for Senegal. But you come up against young midfielders of Egypt, who would give him a lot more work to do. Okay, and the Egyptians like it. They like to play. They like to play with a lot in chaotic situations. They are going to give Senegal all of that. And at the end of the day, how do they expect to score the goals? They expect their star players to do the job for them. In the 2 games they played against 2 quality opposition, South Africa, they see that possession. Against South Africa, Egypt manages 36% possession.
Yeah.
In their last game against Ivory Coast, Egypt got only 27% of possession. But how did they do the job? They found a way They
got a goal very early.
Very well.
Brilliant pressing. And then the second goal was on the break.
That is exactly
Raymond. Yeah. That is the trump card of this Egyptian team. Without the possession is where they are at their most dangerous.
Yes.
Without the ball. They are happy. They are happy to give you all the possession. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
So, you see, we are going to see Hosam Hassan possibly deploy the same tactics and get the job done over Senegal. Senegal, for me, they have all the best players in this world. But I think they may have to look beyond here. They may have to look beyond
after the competition.
After this competition, they may have to reconsider that decision. Because you look at the quality of players they have in their fold. This should not be the level of the Senegalese team. And in this competition, apart from, they've not really played any tough team.
Well, today is the day.
No, you know, in this competition, they've not really been pushed. They played Botswana, they played Benin, they played Sudan. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. And this is where Hosam Hassan gives them a tough test, kicks them out, and then everybody will say, well, let's look at this again. We have very quality players on the bench, very good experienced players on the pitch. There's a missing link, and that could be Pape Thiaw.
Well, Pape Thiaw's, I can say Pape Thiaw's future probably may hang on today's game. I wonder if Senegal will go down the route of probably bringing. I don't think they might. It doesn't look like they want experts now.
No, not for this World Cup.
It doesn't look like they'll go the expert route. So I get the sense
their strategy is, yes, they have experts in their coaching setup, but it can never be the leader.
The leader, okay.
The leader, yeah.
Exactly.
So they have taken a decision. They have taken a decision that we are going to build the best players. So we are going to have a great national team of players, and we are going to invest in our large diaspora. And you know, they have a very large pool of players who are into coaching. So that is what they know, that for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, they are never going to lack in the Aliou Cissés and Pape Thiaws. The 2002 generation alone. What's the name of the guy who is doing well in the guy with the Habib Beye,
right? Stade Rennes. Yeah, Stade Rennes.
Habib Beye is there. Habib Beye is there, and he has been mentioned as a future coach of Senegal. You understand? And if you look at the way Habib Beye is going, he is the likely person who can take a Senegalese team to the level Raymond is saying, because he's the one who is getting the kind of exposure that's a normal African. You know, Africans, we like to go. We see some Serbian on some streets, then we go and take him. We see some French carpenter who has coached some Wuru team, then we go and take him. Habib Beye is proving every day in the proper league setups that, you know, he's actually doing the job and he's earning his stripes. He's becoming like what a Liam Rosenior will become if he becomes decently successful or marginally successful at Chelsea. We can say that Liam Rosenior will be okay to be a Black Stars coach, right? If Rosenior does well with Chelsea, and for example wins like an FA Cup with them, and let's say an FA Cup and EFL Cup with them, please, you understand what I'm saying? And finishes maybe next season, he finishes like a third in the Premier League. It will be a massive achievement for somebody like Liam Rosenior.
Yeah, that's true.
If he wins an FA Cup next season and finishes third and maybe takes them to the round of 16 of the Champions League, he'll be at a level where, and remember, Rosenior says one of his mentors is Chris Hughton. So it will not be out of place for us to go and give Liam Rosenior the Black Star job and say we are paying him the same salary as Boadu. It will not be too much. It will not be too little. But we know that there are economic circumstances. He's somebody who is black, who understands the black psyche, but has also gone and coached at the top level. And we don't have to pay $150,000, and we can expect a kind of. So that is what Senegal are looking at. You understand what I'm saying? So like Raymond, like Asare said, Senegal have decided as a matter of policy that we are Senegal. We are one of the largest diasporas when it comes to football in France. We have players who have played at the highest level. one League Ones, one Champions League, one Premier Leagues, one whatever. We have most of them who have access to Clairefontaine. We can pay for them to get the best coaching education. We do not need any Oyibo, any Muzungu, any Obroni. That's what they have decided.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I respect that.
But, Gary, we will not adopt similar model here.
And tell Stephen Appiah's generation. But Stephen Appiah's generation, look, you people recently have been the brightest spark that we have had in our Black Stars history. You, Stephen Appiah, you, Asamoah Gyan, and we know for a fact that Asamoah Gyan has an extremely good coaching acumen about him. Then we will say as GFA, Asamoah, look, we want you to sit down and be serious. This World Cup money that we are going to get, Sports Ministry, John Mahama, you see the money that you say we are going to put back into the consolidated fund. We have a plan.
Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
The most astute of the 2010 generation, we are going to give you 3 or 4 of them. Already, Laie Kingston is showing his mettle and proving it with national team after national team. Let's watch Laie Kingston for a while. Asamoah Gyan had the potential. Even Appiah there, he's not interested. We all know he's not interested. What's it called? Fatah Dauda. Fatah Dauda is extremely. Look, he has a. You know, when you speak to Fatah Dauda, you can see somebody who loves coaching. He's not there yet at all. But we can pick. Let's just say these 3 for the starters.
Yeah.
And say that right after the World Cup, we are picking these 3 and we are going back to what Kwame Nkrumah did with Ohene-Jan. Who did he take? CK Jemfi.
Yeah.
Osam Dodu, Ben Kofi, and later Emmanuel Afrani. It is not by accident that those 4 became our greatest coaching experts for a period of about 40 years.
Yeah.
And then when they grew old and the coaching trend started to leave them, we forgot to do our homework and to build on it. But luckily for us, Ben Kofi drew a plan. We didn't work with the plan. For me, this is the time that we can say that after the World Cup, Otuado is one of the generation. Like he's one of our own, isn't he? Right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So we can say that we started with Otuado. In fact, we can say we started with Kwesi Appiah. And has the decision to stay with Kwesi Appiah and do Matrai with Kwesi Appiah been vindicated or not? It has. Because if even we have not reaped the direct benefit of Kwesi Appiah, at least he has taken us to AFCON to a certain level. He took us to a final of he took us to all the highest. He took us to an AFCON in 2015
semi-final.
in Equatorial Guinea.
2015 we made the final, but that was that not Avram Grant? No, that was
no. Who took us to?
Grant took us to a final and a semi-final.
Kwesi
Appiah was 2013 semi-final.
Kwesi Appiah has taken us.
Semi-final.
Kwesi Appiah was semi-final.
2013.
When we had to beat Burkina to make the final against Nigeria.
Yes. So we have all said that Kwesi Appiah has fallen short. Now we are saying that Otuado is also, but Otuado has taken us to a World Cup. Kwesi Appiah took us to a World Cup. So you see, we can decide that no, there is a missing link there, and so we are going to take Asamoah Gyan. These 3, in my mind, I'm not at the GFA, so I don't have the benefit of the data that they have. They will know our most precocious and our most prodigious ex-Black Stars players who are susceptible to teaching and training. Pay for them to go to St. George's in England. Let them start from somewhere. Find some Togolese team for them to coach for now. A Togolese team that is going to the African Champions League. They'll go and fail. You understand me? They'll go and fail. Let them go to some Gabonese team. That's what Jones Achukwu did. Isn't that not what he did?
Yeah.
Stephen Keshi, that is what Stephen Keshi did.
Oh, at a point in time, I think Ben Kofi went to Zimbabwe. Osam went to.
Osam went to Gambia. He coached the Gambian under 17 team.
Exactly. And that's why I think the GFA should follow keenly the activities of Laie Kingston in Uganda. We need that exposure for our young coaches, especially for our ex-players. How is Lai Kingston do when the FA needs to follow up, know what is happening, then bring him back on track? Because I think it's definitely one for the future. I don't think after Uganda we should allow Lai Kingston to just go. No, we need him.
No. We have to let him go, I beg. We have to let him go.
Why?
No, not now. We need, you see, and in a few seconds, because I have to go into another meeting.
Yeah.
In a few seconds, look, Lai is, you see, after Uganda, Lai is better than Uganda with the greatest of respect.
Mm-hmm.
He will elevate Uganda. He will elevate Uganda's youth national teams. I have no doubt about that. But after he has elevated Uganda's youth national teams, and this is where Kent Okreku as CAF, you see, that is where we will see that you being CAF second vice president is really doing something for Ghana football. Because immediately after that job, Kent can use his newly found influence at that level to lobby for a certain kind of club. Maybe let Lai Kingston get some Tanzania Simba job. You understand? A team that regularly goes to the African Champions League quarterfinal. Let him go there. Let him go experience what it is like to play in front of a 60,000 capacity crowd every week. You see, let them soak him in the blood of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let them insult him. They will deal with him. Yeah, they will throw stone at him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Even when he has won 5-0, they will insult him in the media. That is this.
Sporty FM.
By the time he comes to the Black Stars job and he plays a game in front of Kumasi fans. You look at Kumasi fans and say, that is what we need.
Yeah.
That is what we need.
Gary.
You see, Alasamuajan, yeah.
You know, I agree with you, lads.
Yeah, Raymond.
I agree with you when you say, let's look at Samoajan and some of these other players.
Raymond.
Gary, can you hear me? I think it's his connection.
Yeah.
No, but you see, I agree largely with Gary when he says, look, let's get some of these former players and do the Kwame Nkrumah model. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, a lot of these players, they themselves on their own, how have they helped themselves in terms of even trying to position themselves for any of the national teams?
Charlie, Raymond, let me just cut you. Charlie, yeah. Right now, where we have gotten to, we have gotten to the place where Mohammed does not want to go to the mountain, so we have to take the mountain to Mohammed.
But Gary, then I'll come in with what I like to say, the body of work.
Yeah.
The body of work. A lot of these guys would have to do so much at club level or even at handling any of our national team level to get the nod to get up there. Because once they don't get that body of work under their belt, once that CV doesn't boast of certain credentials, it's hard. Look at England, for instance. When they picked Gareth Southgate, everybody said, hey, Southgate is not good. But Southgate, with his experience in the Premier League, where he never really did anything meaningful, managed that, how do you call it? The England under 21 team for close to 3 years. Watch the progression of most of the boys who would later on become players for the Three Lions. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't have models like that. Today, one coach is coaching under 20. The next moment, he's moved from there to under 17. Under 17 is moved to under 23. We don't even have a clear plan. So, we can have all the fine plans.
See, I listen to the show. I listen to this show a lot.
Yeah.
Raymond, see, that is why I said, like, I was cutting you and I was saying, look, Mohammed is not going to the mountain. And when I say that, it is everything you are saying.
Yeah.
We have to take Mohammed to the mountain. Look, Siki Akono. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Look, Siki Akono is in Kenya as we speak.
Yeah.
I can add him to the list that I gave you.
Oh, of course.
So we have at the moment, we have Kingston. We have Kingston there. He has handled our under 17 national team.
Yeah.
The potential was clearly there. He's handling the youth national teams of Uganda.
Yeah.
Siki Akono has handled our Black Stars. He's sharp at all. But he got the experience.
Yeah.
He will go to Kenya. He will do marvelous things. When he goes to Kenya, you have to let him go and wuru inside over there.
That's correct.
Then one day, in about 5 or 10 years, when Otuado is gone,
Otuado, you go soon.
You say?
Ray says Otuado will go soon.
Yeah, whenever it's gone. We look at, you see, Siki Akono has gone to, he's coaching. You see, what exposure does is that when you walk into the Blasters room and you are coaching Kudus and things, even if you have not played in a World Cup before, when Siki Akono has gone to coach an African Champions League and played in a round of 16 and played in the quarterfinal of the African Champions League, he can hit his chest and say, hey, Kudus, me, I have played in AFCON this before. I've played in this before. I've played in Bundesliga this before. You Kudus, what you are playing as Spurs, it is nothing different.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking, keep quiet and let me talk.
That's
and Kudus will say, yeah, but what is your coaching credential? You say, me, I coached Blaster. I did this. I went to Kenya. I did this. I went to coach in the African Champions League. I know African football. So Kudus, when I'm talking, shut up. Kudus, shut up. That is body of work. That is what I'm saying. You see, I am very, very pained that certain coaches in the Ghana Premier League, and I'll mention a few names. Bashir Hayford is number one. There is no coach that it pains me that we didn't, as a country, work something to allow Bashir Hayford to go out there. Bashir Hayford is the one coach
that is true
who would have been a star for Ghana. I have no doubt about it. Bashir Hayford, in any African national team, under 17, under 20, Bashir Hayford, he would have been a superstar coach. It pains me to no end. What David Duncan, you see, David Duncan could have been that. But, and I've told David Duncan this before myself, David Duncan's biggest enemy was his ego. Bashir Hayford has ego, but Bashir Hayford has the humility to walk into any team and he understands politics. Bashir Hayford does not.
Duncan doesn't do politics.
Duncan does not understand politics.
No.
And so he will always be. Yes.
That is true.
Bashir Hayford, if it is not too late, I know he's growing in years. We should work our way for Bashir Hayford to get some Togo under 17 national team. You know what I mean? Some Benin under 17 national team. Some, one of these Sierra Leone, under 17 national team. Let them go and coach them and come. Those are the coaches we need. You see, Ogum, right now, Ogum is at that age. Remove him from the under 17 national team of Ghana. Ogum is too good, but too inexperienced to be handling that national team.
Yeah.
Let's create, you see, me, I don't talk much about these things because
this is Sporty FM.
Me, I want to meet the FA president and tell him that FA president. Now, me too. I have been around the world. Me too. I'm Gary Alfman. When I'm talking, you have to listen. You understand? When I'm talking, you have to listen. There's nowhere in the world you can talk to me about that UK to Kreku. You have been that I've not been. I've been to places that I've been in meetings that UK you have not been before. So when I'm talking, you have to listen. Get like Ogum, get him out of the under 17 job of Ghana. You are second vice president of CAF right now. I hear Julius Emuna is about to be the CEO of House of Oak. That is the happiest news I have heard in a while. It is about time that we should be giving the Julius Emunas, the Aminu Shadows. You see, we have to give them jobs where they will fail. We have to allow them to fail. But in management, we call something failing forward. You understand? Like the way some people have given me the job of Sporty right now. You know my age. No Ghanaian will give me a Sporty to handle. No Ghanaian will do it. Or very few Ghanaians will do it. But I've been given the job. And I'm being allowed to fail. So that by the time I am done managing Sporty at any level, I can go to my former employer at Multimedia. They can give me the job and I'll handle it easy. But then Raymond is saying, what is my body of work? Who is willing to give us the opportunity?
Gary.
That is where
Gary, you have not filled that spot.
Sporty FM.
And your
CV
in terms of body of work got you to do a solid job at Sporty. You have the body of
That's
work.
what I'm saying. But you see, now let me just give a personal example. They also wouldn't have given me the job at Sporty if other people hadn't given me the opportunity. So, look, by the age of 24, I was given super sports jobs to handle. But again, it wasn't Ghanaians who gave me the job, because Ghanaians would never have given me the job.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I was given jobs at Al Jazeera and The Guardian in my 20s. So when multimedia gave me the job to handle like Enjoy Sport, Enjoy Sport was a piece of cake for me. Who knows it?
Yeah.
I could handle Enjoy Sport in my sleep. Why? Because people in my 20s allowed me to fail. It is so important for Ghana football and Ghana sports. If we have Ogum, the job away from, like, what is he doing at under 70? What is he doing there? Get Ogum, give him some Niger national team, like Niger, because when they see somebody like Ogum who has handled Kotoko and has handled this, they'll be happy and they'll jump. So let it go to Mauritania, like those places. Give them some Mauritania under 23 job. Let them go. Like they'll go, they'll beat them, they'll speak Arabic. You see? Yeah, they'll do them some juju. Yeah, those things. You understand? They'll get small malaria. Then they'll get some disease that doesn't have a name. Yeah, those things. Look, it builds character.
But
you understand?
We are very unforgiving as a nation when it comes to our football. So the entire population is almost like Don Perez.
But you see, that is Raymond. That is why I'm saying, if you don't take Ogum out of the under 17 job, when he goes and his team goes to concede some one or two, we'll come and say, you Raymond, you sit on this show and say they should sack him.
Yeah. But Gary, that is it. You see,
because, that is the benefit of being Ghana. That is why we are Ghana. The benefit of being Ghana, and I'll give you another example. Zimbabwe, Gambia, these two countries, Kenya, Rwanda, if you go into their financial sectors, their judicial sectors,
there are Ghanaians in there.
Yes, their systems are based on Ghana because they trusted Ghana so much. You know the Rwandan example? It was the great Anidoho who refused. You know the story about the UN? When during the Rwandan genocide, all the UN missions, the country missions left because they were afraid. It was only Ghana who stood tall. That is why till today, if you are Ghanaian and you enter Rwanda, even before they look at your CV, you are given a pass because of what we did. We have credit in certain countries in Africa, and it is time to bank that credit. The Gambian jurisprudence, right? The Gambian law, Gambia's legal law, is based on Ghana's own. Because once upon a time, Gambia's Chief Justice was Ghanaian.
Yeah.
In fact, the situation is so good that those who don't get admission to the Ghana School of Law because of our draconian admission and our very backward admission and criteria, they go to Gambia and go and do the law there, and it's easier they graduate there. As we speak, Ben Kofi went to build the Zimbabwean football structure. As we speak, if you are Ghanaian and you enter Zimbabwe and you are going to coach or something, we have credit there. It's time to. Why do you think CK Akono was given a pass?
Yeah.
Look, these are easy things. We have to start thinking about the next 10 years because I'm saying, and we are all watching, African football is passing us by.
It has already.
You understand? Can you name the next generation of coaches? Look at the Ghana Premier League. Which coaches in the Ghana Premier League right now fill you with hope as being Black Star material in the next 5 years?
Abdullah Ghazali.
Gary, where's I said Gary? Ray, why?
You understand? So somebody like, and the last thing I'll say about this, somebody like Didi Dramani.
Raymond.
After the House of Folk job, what is he still doing in Ghana? Didi Dramani is so big, the only thing Didi Dramani needs is to sit on a plane to go somewhere else. Like, we have to take him somewhere else. Go and soak himself in more experience. Go and learn continental and other things.
Yep.
And for me, that is why I'm saying, if Mohammed is not going to the mountain, this is the time for the GFA Keto Kreku. Please, if your people are listening, and they will tell you, this is where you have to show your catchy powers as second vice president. You have to make calls for our people and tell our people that, okay, this is our money. You have handled the House of Folk job. Now you have some small money. Maybe the GFA, we can't pay for you, but I can make phone calls and I can ensure that you can handle the national team of Niger and the under-23 national team for the Olympic qualifiers. I can ensure that the Sierra Leonean national team, if they hear House of Folk, they will shake. Oh, yeah, the House of Folk see the Nobel Prize. Yeah, hey, House of Folk. Then we lobby. Look, that is what all the national teams do. Then you get Gary Al Smith. You know, yeah, I tweet. Yeah, I do a video. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
Then you get Nathan Quao. Nathan Quao will speak some Rouge French, be. Yeah. Then you put it on social media. Then they say, oh, even Nathan Quao, do you know Nathan Quao? Even he is saying that Video Money is good. Then they call you onto their show. Then you polish it. Look, all these things, settings, they work it. Look, that is what people are doing out there. Benny McCarthy is Kenya national team coach. He's not a good coach, be like that, oh, sir. He's not a good coach, be like that. I've had the privilege of seeing the document they sent to the Kenyan national team when they asked for his CV. Boss, it is not a document. It is not a document that lie. It is not a document that Asamoah cannot send. I'm telling you for a fact, if Asamoah Gyan, without his coaching experience right now, he says that he's putting together a document, our man here, Kosifiaka, he's excellent at doing those things. You know, it's Raymond.
Yeah.
If Asamoah Gyan said to Kosifiaka to do a CV that can enter teams, and then we say, what do we want to achieve for Asamoah Gyan? We want in the next 2 years Asamoah Gyan to be the national team coach, and I'm not even kidding, of a country in Africa within the FIFA rankings of 50 to 100. And you know the countries I'm talking about. Sao Tome and Principe.
Yeah.
Somalia, Eritrea, Burundi, Djibouti, those countries. Are you telling me that if today Asamoah Gyan sits on a plane and all of us with our powers combined, we match Asamoah Gyan to Burundi, Sao Tome, and we do a pitch in English and French and Spanish? You, Nathan, you can do the pitch in French and Spanish for Asamoah Gyan. They will give him the job. And we tell them that they should find some $10,000 a month for Asamoah Gyan. Do you think Asamoah Gyan won't take it?
Yeah, he'll take it.
This is what we need to do. So Asamoah Gyan will go and coach some Burundi. Yesterday, the preliminary qualifiers for the AFCON was done, right?
Yeah. We look for one of those countries. One of those countries, within 3 months, they'll sack their coaches because they will fail. We know. Then we will time them. We'll time them. Immediately they sack their coach, then we call them. We let Ketokreku call them and say, hey, Asamoah Gyan says he wants to coach your team. Hey, Asamoah Gyan, we do a very nice video. We send it to them. All his world captain, you know, we film him coming out of the what do you call it? The Independence Square. Then he does some catch. We edit it nicely. Then we find some nice suits for him. Then we put him on a plane. We take him there. We put him in a nice hotel. You know, when we are going, we take some nice girl to follow him. Yeah, you understand? What I'm talking, these people are laughing.
Largely I agree with Gary. Largely I agree with Gary. But you see, I think that we've allowed this ship that Gary is talking about to sail past us. Now we are
Raymond,
now we are behind.
Raymond, you are too pessimistic. You too.
No, but Gary, now we are behind. Senegal is good.
No, we are behind, but we can catch up.
But we can catch up. We have to speed up. We have to speed up.
You know, I've always asked myself one question. We've always had a Bedipele in this country. Managing his Nani AFC. Is that his level? Is that where he's supposed to remain?
Raymond, I was going to mention when I was mentioning, I mentioned Stephen Appiah, and I said Stephen Appiah is not interested, right?
Yeah.
There are some people who know they are not interested. We know Abedipele is not interested.
No, but he's been coaching Nania FC all these years.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But he's not interested in doing other things.
And I'm giving you the names of those who are interested, Raymond. I'm giving you the names of those who are interested. Fatah Dada is interested. And I'm saying that maybe Fatah Dada, they'll look at his CV and say, what has he done and what is his this and that? I'm saying none of the countries I have mentioned can say no to Asamajan. Now you, Burundi, who are you? Djibouti, who are you? Like you can't pay anybody of notes.
Oh, Sudan came for Appiah. So,
yes. But you understand? But you see, Sudan is an outlier because you see, Sudan too, they have seen coaches and they have seen coaches. So they waited for Appiah to have handled Ghana before they came for him. Let's. But I'm saying some of these ones, if tomorrow they say, you see, Alex Song went to play in was it Djibouti or Eritrea?
Djibouti, yes.
He's set to become a national team something of Djibouti. You see, you will be here and he will work his way. And by the time he's the age of 40, he'll be ready to coach
Cameroon,
Botswana or something. Yes, no, maybe not Cameroon. You know, they are. But even Cameroon can take a chance on him. You understand? Because they will say that let's put a structure around him and let him work. And I'm saying, and I'm putting it to everybody and our listeners here. Which of the teams, sorry, if you can Google yesterday's fixture so that we look at which of the teams that I am going to, Asare is going to mention, if they get a call from Asamoah, and I want to use just Asamoah for now, or Stephen Appiah, is going to say no to him. That is what, because in my mind, you see, if we don't take care, in the next 10 years, we are not going to plan, and we are going to get to a point where, by the grace of God, we are going to have a generation of Antoine Semenyo's, Kudusis, Kamaldeen. God willing, he's going to be better than he is. You know, a generation of players who are so good, who will now demand of us. We will be here, and Raymond will come and tell us that he has heard that the players have told the GFA that stop hiring Matrai Makwe coaches for us. The level to which we have reached right now, we need a certain kind of profile of coach. The problem will be that, Nathan, Raymond, sorry, we will not have money as a country to be able to pay such coaches. That is where Nigeria now, as we speak. Nigeria,
Djibouti, South Sudan, Chad, Burundi, Somalia, Mauritius, Seychelles, Lesotho, Eritrea, Eswatini, Sao Tome and Principe, Ethiopia.
Yeah, those are the fixtures for the prelims.
Thank you. I'm asking you, let's be honest. If our 2010 generation who have retired, starting with Ajiman Bedu, and we know that Ajiman Bedu seems to have a very good coaching head about him.
Yeah.
If we sit Ajiman Bedu down and say, Ajiman, this is the plan we have. Fatah, this is the plan we have. We want you to be first goalkeeper's trainer of any of these teams, as Asare Bedu has mentioned. Then from there, you become team manager. Then eventually you become coach of the South Sudan national team. Now, South Sudan, how much money do they have to pay a coach? Okay. We do that for 2 or 3 of them. Okay. We will end up in 5 or 6 years with a generation of CK Akono, Otoado himself, Fatah Odauda, let's say Asamoah, let's say Didi Dramani, let's say Coach Ogun. These coaches alone, you see the way Odate Lamte has been trying and failing at everything. The same Odate Lamte, I put it to you guys. Odate Lamte has proven himself to be extremely good at scouting. He's not, you see, to manage teams with a certain kind of ego level. He's unable to. So if we tell Odate Lamte that, Odate, we are going to make phone calls on your behalf and put you in scouting systems of certain teams in Africa for 1 or 2 years. And Odate is very good at that. Odati can spot a talent that you and I will take 6 months to spot. He will see it immediately. He walks onto the yes. Let him get that kind of exposure. Then we come and give Odati a national team to handle. That is an under 17 or an under 15. He will become a different beast altogether. And before I leave, the last thing I'll say: have you seen how Barcelona brought up Pep Guardiola?
Yep.
Please remind me of how he was brought up before he was given a senior role.
Yeah, Barca. I mean, ex-player was at Barca B, and then he was handed.
Yep.
They kicked out Frank Rijkaard, handed him the keys to the team, and the rest is history.
You see what Real Madrid? I want to put it to you that Real Madrid knew that Xabi Alonso will fail. Me, I believe in my heart that they knew Xabi Alonso will fail. I want to put it to you that Don Perez's end game was to bring Abaloa as the coach.
Sporty FM.
In my opinion.
Hey, you see, Don Perez has done that thing before. He tried it with Santiago Solari, who also came from the same Castilla. It backfired spectacularly. And I don't think Abaloa would do any better than Solari.
Yes, but you see, it's always a gamble. With the Guardiola one too, he won the what was it called? The second tier.
Yeah.
Where they were playing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the same template. Abaloa has won. He did a 3-peat with the under 19s or something, right?
Yeah, the juvenile.
Yeah, juvenile. Yes. The juvenile.
With the juvenile team. So you see, when you bring coaches up like that, it's always a gamble. It's always a gamble. But then,
but you see, Gary, when
he
won the under 20, when Salasete won under 20, his stock rose even on the Africa continent.
Yeah. I think he went to
Sierra Leone.
Yes.
2 stints at Sierra Leone.
And Rwanda.
You know,
Rwanda.
It didn't buy him enough credit to still manage to stake a claim to become senior national team coach. It was hard. So, you know, what Ghanaians want to hear is that when you're in Rwanda, when you're in Sierra Leone, or when you're in Burundi, you are dominating, you are performing, just like we are talking about Kwesi Appiah today.
Yeah.
If Kwesi Appiah had gone to Sudan and done a nonsense job, I'm not sure he would have been mentioned again.
Yeah.
So we as Ghanaians, as journalists, will go and pull your record from Burundi and come and tell the good people of Ghana how Ivory Coast beat Burundi 9-0 with you as coach. That is how we operate. And
yes, it's true.
And so a lot of these coaches, when they get to that level, don't want to take these teams that may not have the quality that we have here. That's why Odate Lamptey and Co will stay in Ghana and try to play in the Ghana Premier League, at least to be seen. Because if he takes up that risky job of Mauritania and he doesn't get the quality players he has, he would obviously be losing games and may possibly come and apply for the Ghana job, having played 15 games, lost 13, drawn 1.
1-1.
1-1. They'll call him an Atiagbesu coach. You see, and they don't want to take this risk. And that's what I'm saying. It's a fine model. It's a fantastic model. But we as Ghanaians, we as journalists here, would always go and pick your record. This is the coach. What has he done before? If it's not good, we won't recommend it for any of our national.
What you are saying is perfectly right. But here's my counter argument to you. If you are a coach, right, and you are caught in this situation, would you rather sit on a plane, go to these countries? Because remember, when you go to these countries, you are going to be paid an expat salary as well. So what do you lose, Raymond? If you sit in the Ghana Premier League, none of the teams, including Haas and Kotoko, are going to pay you what's being paid in Burundi, Seychelles, Sao Tome, and things will pay you anyway. You are not going to manage every week. You are going to have other emoluments. Maybe they'll give you some car, some house, and all those things. You'll be able to come in and fly your family. On your CV as well, you get to be called an international coach. So Raymond, please, what do you lose? Assuming without admitting that you are right. Assuming without admitting that you are right.
Yeah.
And you want to apply for something. Assuming without admitting that you are right. And after you have gone to Burundi, Seychelles, you want to apply for a Ghana job. And Raymond, Raymond sits on the show with Nathan, and they play problem song, and they use you for this one today. What's the way that can happen? You see, the same Ghanaians will call on this show and say, Raymond, even if Asare Boadu went to Burundi, you see, Ghanaians are discerning.
Yeah.
So the same Ghanaians will go on the internet, they'll go to Burundi, they'll look at the level of the league, and they'll come and say that, look, the Burundi league that Raymond is saying that they scored you this or that, or the national team that they scored you this or that, Burundi was at war, or South Sudan was at war. They didn't have money, but they trusted you. Even then, you did this and that. So even if they have scored you like that, let's try him because of the experience he has had on the African continent, and let's see. What do you lose?
Right.
What do you lose?
Right.
I would rather a generation of coaches that have traveled and have experience, because, guys, by the grace of God, the four of us on this call, we know what travel and experience has done for us in terms of outlook.
Yeah.
That is why people tune in onto this show. Because when Raymond is talking, Raymond has traveled far and wide. Raymond is not somebody that any GFA official or sports ministry official can call and say, oh, $100. Because Raymond, no.
He get money.
Raymond, no. When his wife is doing, oh, baby, he says $500 as for chop money, for cocoa money. So no GFA official is going to tell Raymond that the $100 not fair away.
No.
If you are going to give Raymond, it's $50,000 minimum. Minimum.
Yes.
Have you seen the car Raymond is driving? Oh, Nathan Quao.
They said Raymond drives a $50,000 car. It's true.
Pressure be this.
What did you say? Nathan Quao is an international man. You understand? So that is what I'm saying. We know what travel and experience. Asare Boadu has done 2 different international gigs in the past year. When he's speaking from a certain place. Asare Boadu has worked in various places, in Takrady, in Kumasi. He's very well traveled.
Yeah.
If you look at Asare Boadu's upbringing, he's very exposed. You understand? You are not just going to say Asare Boadu, bra. That's us nobody been kuni what they call they have a name they call
Tilapia.
Diego.
When you give him some Diego, what's now a +2 and now +A, your friend saying that for join now kuma your friend saying
if you
constant no you're free for the popular one Amansi we money for bina we are one man what drink be man no what get be man no Debbie. Asare Boadu has passed that level long time ago. So that's what I'm saying. If it will not do anything for our coaches at all, when our GFA officials or when other people are speaking to our coaches, they will pause and we hear the stories of our coaches in our Ghana Premier League and how they are treated with disdain. Now, Bashir Hayford like that. Even now that Bashir Hayford has not traveled around the continent, you cannot talk to him like that because he knows his worth. This became United manager who is showing so much promise. What's his name?
My name is Malam.
Is it Malam?
No, Kasim Mingo.
Mingo.
Yes. We see the quality that Kasim Mingo is showing. Imagine if we are able to, with the kind of CV that he has been building over the years, get him one of these jobs. Raymond, please, this is the larger point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. And countries like Senegal and stuff, that's what they have been doing. They send their coaches to these small places. That is why the Senegal, you see, these Egypt, they give their former legends jobs. You see a lot of Egyptian football legends because because of the pedigree of Al Ali, they have a lot of credit in the bank. So they take them to clubs in Kuwait. You see, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, because all of those people, the administrators now, grew up on watching Egypt dominate between 2000 and 2010. Grew up in watching the dominant Ali side. So you see, when you walk into the FA already, you are speaking to people who are already overwrought with your presence. That is what they do. Then they ship them out. They go and fail small in Kuwait. Then they go to Bahrain. Then they go. By the time they come back to Egypt to take the job of maybe some Al Kowloon or Al Masri, the small ones. They then become like Usam Hassan has become now. So you see, our conversation has come full circle. Raymond, you said it. All the national team jobs, all the team jobs in Egypt that Hussam Hassan took, he did nothing serious. But you see, it has been. You said it. Why didn't you say it? It seems to have been. It has been preparing him for this moment.
And you could say same for the late Stephen Keshi.
Thank you.
Togo.
Stephen Keshi. Yes, Stephen Keshi failed so much that. Remember, he coached and led Togo national team to the what was it?
World Cup.
Took them to the World Cup.
2006. Yes.
This is Sporty
There was hold on. There was another job he qualified for, and they shut him before the tournament. That's another job. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Okay, I think that was with Mali. No, I stand to be corrected. Coming.
There's a code. Sorry, I have to Google it and find out. He coached another national team to a major tournament. But he was, he was also very by heart. He didn't have patience at all.
So it was a World Cup.
Gary, that was Mali.
Good.
That was Mali.
To an AFCON and he didn't go or something. And he gave it to Alain Giresse or something like that.
Yes.
So he went to these jobs because guess what? Despite his pedigree, despite what he had done for the national team as a player, won multiple titles across different Nigerians, being like Ghanaians as well. They said, "Oh, who is Stephen Keshi?" And they were always favoring the expat. He had to go and prove himself elsewhere. Went to take jobs. In fact, he became coach of Sunshine Stars. In the Nigeria Premier League.
Sunday Mba.
Had to prove that is where he knew Sunday Mba from. That is where he first met Sunday Mba, who would then come and score the winning goal for Nigeria in the 2013 AFCON. So you see, as Raymond said, we have to be ready to. Right now, the Ghana national team is in a place. We are led by an FA that has its president as second vice president. Please, Ghana, let us not make the Kwesi Nyantakyi mistake again. Because when Nyantakyi was there, you see, we can say a lot about Nyantakyi, but the one thing that Kwesi Nyantakyi did was to put Ghanaians and lobby for Ghanaians in CAF positions. And today we are reaping the benefits. Today, Ibrahim Sani, Dr. Pambo, Juliet Bewa of TV3 is latter day, so it wasn't. We can't give Kwesi Nyantakyi that credit. But there are Ghanaians in there who are doing things. There's the former Chief Justice. What's his name? Justice Eni Yeboah. A lot of Ghanaians don't know, but Justice Eni Yeboah's stand right now is inside CAF, and it's in the legal department of CAF. These are all benefits of having your people there. Please, Ghanaians, let us prevail upon our people as they go, especially Honorable Keto Kweku. Please.
Sporty FM.
This is what we have to invest in. When he goes for meetings, CAF meetings and stuff, push our people there. We may not see the benefit today, but what Kwesi Nyantakyi did 10 years ago, at least Dr. Pambo is being seen. Before he left, I think he put George Friye also in some CAF committees. I remember George Friye was in, but because, the politics was not politicking and other, he was not able to rise. This is the time. We have a good generation of young coaches. I know I've been speaking about this for 20 minutes because, look, Like Nathan, you've been traveling to competitions as I do. Like we know what we are seeing.
Yeah.
Ghana football, we are getting to a point where we are not going to be on the table anymore.